Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Should be a little better.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh
Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. Back out here once again. Another week, another day, drawing closer to the year of our Lord's recompense, the day of our Lord, who they ignorantly call JC, the year of his vengeance. The Lord our Savior, Yahweh Shai, is coming very soon, man, with the holy angels to destroy this wicked ass society known as Babylon the Great, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka modern day Egypt, aka modern day America, man. And why? Because of the same little examples that I just named right there. You want to start off with 2 Peter 2 and 6. Because this is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man. And the Lord is fed up with the erring and the understanding of these wicked ass leaders out here. Some of the guys there from 1914. Because this place is mixed with a perverse spirit from the leaders. You got your guy King Trump up there, and he's nothing but a PDF filer and a criminal that got put in the Oval Office to run over the whole United States of America, man, which is soon to be decimated or destroyed by nuclear fire. Not decimated, that's these 10, but it does talk 10 parts of the city shall fall. That goes into the word decimate, to destroy 10 parts, which that's prophesied in the book of Revelation. So America is going to be destroyed. The 10, the 10 FEMA regions, or what is it called? 10 FEMA regions, which makes up the 50 states of America. That's going to be destroyed by way of nuclear fire, man. We're on the verge of that. And we can't wait. As men of the Lord, brothers that's in this faith, we can't wait, man. We ain't giving up hope. Like some people out there, some traitors out there who was once enlightened to this truth and now handing in these papers, so to speak, saying he no longer wants to be called a Hebrew Israelite. He just wants to be a ninja of the world, man. He wants to be a podcaster and the influencer of the world because, he wants to be still delving into that lascivious behavior as well as so-called truth speaking. Which the Lord said you can't have two masters, man. You can only serve one. You can't serve Mammon and you can't serve the Lord. And if you're into that lifestyle, alternative lifestyle, that's serving your own belly. That's fulfilling the lust of the flesh, which you can't mix that with this truth, because that's just it's out of order. It's an abomination, man, to the Lord. That's just one of the reasons why this place is going to be torn down. Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2 and 6. It says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly."
Yeah, so why was Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? We go into Genesis, the 9th chapter of the Lot, and these two daughters were the only ones that made it out. And they fled into the land of Zoar, while the other 3 neighboring cities or 4 neighboring cities were destroyed by way of fire and brimstone. Why? Because the Lord was, sick. He was sick with the abominations of the wicked, man. What they were doing, them Hamites, man. It got so bad that when the angels came to deliver Lot, they wanted to have sex. The Hamites wanted to have sex with the angels, man. And that's when the Lord just pulled all stops. He's like, look, man, get out of here, man. We're gonna kill all these niggas out here, man. All these damn Hamites. All these lustful demons out here. We're going to eviscerate them, man. With fire and brimstone. So he told him to flee. And he said he didn't want to flee too far. Like, can you flee to a neighboring city? So he said, yeah, go up into Zoar, because I'm going to take this place out now. Take you and your family and get out of there, man. And Lot's wife, she looked back because she wanted to cling on to the material lifestyle of the merchandise of the ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, just like you got these women that are in love with Babylon the Great, aka America, that modern day lifestyle. Because in this society, they get proliferated and lifted up. They get pushed up pushed up into idol worship, because this is a pussy-ass worshiping society. excuse my French, man. This is a vagina ass worshiping society where the woman is worshipped, man, as a goddess. So they love this place, man. They love the lascivious behavior. They love all the alphabetisms, you know, and they love the way they get to frolic and, you know, to be scantily clad and be as wild and promiscuous as they want, because there's no limit to the wickedness in this place, man. And Esau doesn't mind how wicked you are in the society, as long as you're not trying to be righteous. If you're trying to be righteous like the men of the Lord, pushing out the scriptures, he sees that as a major problem. That's a big issue. But if you want to be lascivious, you know, fulfill your lustful demons, pleasures of this world, you know, do wickedness, he's okay with that. Yeah, even this guy, Obama, the old drama, had the nerve to say that every boy should have an affiliated with someone that's a Mo. Like for him to come out and say something like that shows you his mindset from when he was in election. He was the first so-called GAY president, man, in office, the so-called Rainbow Coalition. What was it? Don't tell, whatever it was called. Don't tell. He was the first GAY president of the Americas, man. And now he's pushing that boys should be, you know, basically have those type of affiliates in their life once in a lifetime.
Don't ask, don't tell policy.
Don't ask, don't tell policy. That came from that guy, old drama, man. Obama. And she's a straight demon, man. So showing you that these presidents, they're all working for the agenda of the elite, but even more so, they're all a bunch of witches and warlocks. They're all demons. Because he was on the Epstein list as well, man. He was over there floating with Epstein. They've all been to Epstein Island. And Trump's trying to hide that information because all these dirty laundry's coming out on him, man. But everyone knows you're an Edomite anyway, and you had your history with the Trump Towers and all that. Everyone knows you're a shasty businessman. They know your shoddy business dealings that you bankrupted bare companies back in your past life before you became president. So you're just a shambles, walking shambles, man. But because you got that cult of personality, people are drawn to you, man. And now you're going to lead America into that state of straight up nuclear destruction because you don't know how to lead. You know, you're just a businessman. You're not a true politician. Politicians nowadays don't even know how to lead anyway.
This is Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
And that's what this place promotes, man. You know, they put light for darkness, man. Everything dark, wicked is promoted in society. Everything light is basically omitted and, you know, it's frowned upon. Now they want to try and omit people reading the scriptures out there. Sooner rather than later, it's going to be forbidden for man to read the scriptures out there, man, on the highways and hedges. They're really going to ostracize the men of the Lord, demonize this truth more and more, and, you know, try and get us off the street corners, man. But that goes into the famine of the word, Amos 8 and 11. But when that happens, all hell's about to break loose, man. These people out here, they're going to be out here for the wolves to tear. Especially you women out here, you proud-ass women. Slaws and sluts, man. Harlots. All you jakes in them harlot houses you call churches, man. You know, you're going to get caught out there. You're going to be destroyed, man. Because this is the time of great judgment, man. The Lord ain't playing. People out here just, you know, in la-la land, thinking everything's sweet. You don't even understand that the judgment is always around the corner, man. Go ahead.
Ezekiel, the 7th chapter, from the top. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thine abominations.
Yeah, and how is this place going to be taken out by nuclear fire? In ancient time, the Lord took this place out by water, man. Flooded the whole earth. You know, even to the point where you go into the history books, they're saying that they found fish, you know, the seashells on the top of Mount Everest, man. How do you find seashells on the top of Mount Everest? That's like the tallest mountain in the earth. That's why one of the 7 wonders, but that's like the tallest mountain on the face of the earth. No man can really just stand up there on top of a mountain, Mount Everest, because of the breathing capacity. The air's thin up there, you know, you drop dead. I'm sure many have tried and many have died. You know, and they've probably been Edomites anyway. Only Esau the proudest devil. He was the only one that would tempt the Lord to try and climb Mount Everest. You ain't gonna see no Jake climbing Mount Everest. Jake ate heights. But they found seashells on the top of Mount Everest. How do you get seashells, man? From water. So that means when the Lord flooded the earth in the time of Noah, it covered all the peaks of the mountains, man. Every summit, every peak of a mountain was covered with water. Even Mount Everest. That's how far and high the waters got climbed up the 40 days and 40 nights of rain that pelted the earth at that time of Noah, man. So that shows you, man, that Mount Everest that's nothing to the Lord then. If you flooded the whole earth with water like that, to just drown out mountains that high in the air, So that's the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But this time he's gonna melt this place with fire, man. So I'm gonna get Ezekiel 7 and 5 as well. He's gonna melt this place with fire. With that fervent heat.
Yeah, I've got one quick thing for you just on the point you made. I made real quick. Genesis 7 and 17. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bear up the ark. Because even the ark was found on Mount Ararat. Like, how are you gonna find a boat on that high and within the mountainous region, which goes to show you literally like what's being said, man. The waters literally rose above the mountains and bear up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth, and the waters
above the earth. So it was above the peak of the mountains. To the height of the earth, basically, man.
Yeah.
So that then that's how you get that sedimentary rock. Where you get the sandy stones at the peak of the rocks, man, because the waters reached that high peak. It said the waters reached above the heights of the earth.
Yeah.
So it covered all known lands, it covered everything, man. It will cover this whole earth at one time or another in full pure water. So it resided after 40 days and 40 nights. It resided down, and then the land was found over there in Mount Ararat, man, in that region.
Yeah. Check this. It says, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly high upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. So every mountain.
So read that again.
It says, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered.
All the high hills, man. So Mount Everest, even though that's the tallest mountain in the whole of the earth, known to man, that was covered by water, man. That's how heavy the water was and how pissed the Lord was with this earth. He wanted to destroy all mankind at one point, man. But he had them out of, and eventually Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because that was the chosen line, man. He came out of the line of Shem. But we're gonna get into it anyway, because you got Nate, double-minded as hell. Went into it last week how he tried to say the Medes were the Iranians and the Persians, and then Apostle Elder even did a sit down last night on the same subject, man, qualifying that this guy's just bugged out, man. He's lost the oil. But the Lord is very pissed, man. So if the Lord was that vehemently pissed back then, and the Lord said he changed it for not, how pissed is he going to be now when he's going to melt this whole place with fire? That's why the earth is going to roll to and fro like a drunkard, man. The earth's actually going to rock to and fro like the biggest earthquake you can ever feel or see visually on the earth. Like you brothers have felt tremors before in different parts of the earth, some places worse than others. But imagine the whole earth just shaking at one time, man. It's going to be abnormal, man. You're going to be seeing buildings collapsing like big skyscrapers collapsing on people. You're going to see tsunami waves. You're going to see, it's going to be all kinds of the earth splitting open, the earth eating, earth opening up and eating people. Lava spewing everywhere. The equator and all that.
Core of the earth.
Yeah, rupturing and all that, all the tectonic plates rupturing, pushing and, everything's just going to be just pure hell. Everything's going to be tearing itself apart, man. And the Lord's going to revamp the earth. And there's going to be new lands as well, once the smoke is cleared, so to speak, or after the tremors and the earthquake has taken place. There's going to be the greatest earthquake, worse than any 7.7 tremor this earth has ever seen, man. And the whole earth's going to feel it. It's not just going to be one part of the land, one country. The whole earth is going to shake. So you can imagine the destruction that's going to cause, man. Standing images, all these images, engraven images that these devils got. Statue of Liberty is going to crumble, man. That will just break into pieces. All these, Jesus pieces that they got over there in Brazil, that shit would just break into pieces if the nuclear missiles don't toast that already. You know, because that tremor is going to be so great. And then there's the vibration of the Lord as well coming onto the earth. You already know there's going to be tremors, man. The earth's going to, just from that vibration of the Lord's presence alone, this earth is going to be shaking.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Because
Okay.
even back then, you had the Pangea and the waters in the time of Noah shook it up to where you can actually look at the Earth's continents now, and it's a puzzle piece where they actually all interconnect.
Yeah, because the word Pangea means all together. So after the flood, everything was separated like a jigsaw.
So it says, and all flesh died that moved upon the earth.
Yeah, so everything that is on land, like man, animals and all that, that wasn't, that's not aquatic, that can't live in the ocean, because Leviathan survived because the water's his habitation. So it didn't disturb him. I'm sure he just had a little rocky sleep and all that,
Yeah.
just waking his ass up.
Yeah.
But the floods didn't really affect him because that's his habitation, water. So anything that lives in the water, they're cool.
Yeah.
But anything that lives on land, like animals, carnivores and all that, herbivores, men, women, children, if you weren't in that ark, you were done for, man.
Sure. Even to back your point,
And animals too that live on land. The ones that were in the ark with Noah.
even to back your point, check this what it says in verse 21. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and cattle and of beasts. But when you go into fowls are birds.
Yeah.
So like the waters were high enough where even birds, bro, that soar hundreds of feet above the earth died. Like, so you got to think about how high that kind of water is. Like even now we got birds flying above us. The waters was that high that literally birds like that literally fly, even eagles and that, like, because those are included in the fowls and they fly super high. They got killed as well.
They fly the highest.
They fly the highest.
Yeah,
So they got killed.
because fowls can only fly for so long, man. After a while, they need to rest. They need to drop down, touch land, touch a tree or something. There's no trees because everything's covered in water. So where they're gonna end up drowning. They're gonna jump in the water and end up drowning, man. That depths of the ocean and all that, So that means this earth it can basically take a lot of punishment, man. Because if the Lord could flood this whole earth with water to the point where the mountain peaks at Mount Everest, that means this earth can take a lot of impact, man. But this fire that's coming, man, it's going to be nothing like it, man. This nuclear fire that's going to enrage and hit America, man, and Israel and all that, there's going to be nothing like it, man. There's never been a worse judgment on a nation, man. It's just modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man. But on a higher scale. Because Sodom and Gomorrah was just two neighboring cities, and you had Zeboam and Admah. As I said, Zoar was the only one that never got hit with the fire. But those are small cities, man. Compared to America, that's full of 50 states. There's certain parts of America that's still uninhabited, man. North America, that people ain't even really dwelling there, like there's just bare land, bare forestry, bare greenery and all that. Because that America's vast, man. That's a big piece of plot of land. So that whole land's going to be engulfed in flames.
So it says, and cattle and of beast and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died, and every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things. Like even the little small organisms,
Yeah,
like
they
they couldn't get
out.
away nowhere. Like there was no crevice they could hide in the whole
They
earth.
got drowned out, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing can survive that water, man. Just like nothing's going to survive the fire. Other than, you're going to have doleful creatures after the fact. You're going to have creepy crawlies and all that after the fact. But really, nothing's going to survive that nuclear blast, man. Because that radiation, that heat, that fervent heat, that wind, is just going to destroy the whole land. And anyone that's standing on that land, they're going to be turned into nuclear soot. They're going to be made part of the earth, man. Part of the
Ashes.
Yeah, ashes to ashes, man. Dust to dust. That's what's going to happen, man. That's why it's imperative that the elect get beamed up into them ships. Because if they're not, even if you're the last man to get beamed up, you'd be better off getting beamed up while the missiles are dropping than to stay there and wait for the missiles to drop and not be beamed up. And see everyone else getting beamed up, and you're just standing there waiting to get hit with that nuclear fire, man. That's the worst type of death. And there's no way for you to escape it either. You're just gonna have to deal with that flame. And then the Lord's gonna make it where it's not gonna be a quick death either. It's gonna be a slow burning death. He wants you to feel every ounce of that, your skin burning and flesh, smell your flesh popping, snap, crackling, popping. You know,
Yeah.
he wants you to feel that flame. So it's not gonna be a quick death, man. It's gonna be the most excruciating, painful death known to man. Getting burnt alive, man.
So even it says here, Luke 12:49, I'm come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? And even when you go into the phrasing, what will I, it's the Greek word fellow, which really is a phrase meaning to intend or to will. So it's not a question the Lord's asking. He's saying like, I'm coming to send fire on the earth, and I want it to be fervent and burning by the time I arrive. So like we're saying, man, hey, water beforehand, another cleansing agent, fire, man. To the point where the whole of America, which is you think about how vast that land is, like literally uninhabitable. You can when you go to if you go to America, you've been there, brothers are there. Each state is like a different country. Like there's different vibrations, total different people living. They even got 3 different time zones across that landmass.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
Lord's gonna wipe it all off the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's the biggest destruction known to man, and that's going to be the set example of what not to do, and what happens to the wicked when you go against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's orders, man. That's the judgment of the great harlot, man. And we can see it, man. We can see it like it's the finish line, man. We can see it's coming, man. Everything that's happening in the economy worldwide, all these issues, conflicts that are going on, is leading to ultimately America being destroyed. Everyone's getting fed up with the so-called white man. Not needless to say, even the JOOS's, but everyone's getting fed up with Edomites in general, man. Because they're starting to realize that they're the major problem on the earth, the Edomites, man. And life would be better off if he was extinct.
Yeah.
People are starting to realize that now.
Yeah.
Life would be better off if the so-called white man was extinct and not in power.
Yeah, man. You know on social media, like it's always trending. The H man from Germany was right, like all the figure senses, but they're always saying like, yeah, H was right, like in terms of when he tried to come at them J's, because like people are seeing like they're just
You're the
fucking
problem
wrong.
of the earth, man. You man should claim victim, but you're the biggest fucking colonizers and murderers of the whole earth. Look at the situation with Gaza. They keep constantly killing more and more kids.
Yeah,
And even Piers Morgan's on the show now cursing them out to the point where they're still trying to lie to his face, saying, "No, it's not a genocide. It's not this." It's blatantly lying in man's face. You devils are a bunch of habitual liars, man.
Yeah.
That's why Scripture says, "Never trust thine enemy." And as soon as you come out of the womb, you go from speaking lies. Get that. Someone get that Psalm 58:1. Read from like 2. You wear your hands of violence in the earth.
yeah. Because the war general for Israel got on TV, live TV, and he was like, yeah, man, we're allowing aid into Gaza, but Hamas is stealing it and selling it at inflated prices, and they're using it to fund the war, man.
Yeah, you're starving the people out, man. You're starving kids out, and you're purposely doing it, and you're trying to blame Hamas. Hamas doesn't exist, man. The only fucking insurgents or T groups out there is the IDF, man. They're the ones starving out the Gazites and all that, the Gazarians, if you want to call it. The people over there in Gaza. It's the IDF, it's Israel, man. Ain't no fucking Hamas, man. Hamas does not exist, man. Every time they're making excuses, oh, Hamas is here, Hamas is there. No, Hamas is not there. It's Israelis that are there. It's you that's causing the problems, man. It's you that's killing your own people and blaming it on some foreign invaders, foreign troops, man. Hamas is probably some small little group that they just blew up on over social media and tried to turn it into the new Al Qaeda and all that madness, Taliban group. That's some small group, man. They ain't got the power that Israel has, man, to be dropping bombs and all this stuff, man, that they're doing. That's just the IDF, man. And there's videos coming out of that proving that the IDF's been raping up bare prisoners and doing all kind of madness to the Gaza people over there in Gaza and even to their own people, man.
Yeah.
The whole October the 7th thing was done by the IDF, man. That was purposely done as an all-out chaos scenario. So this demon Netanyahu can go on his little tirade that he's doing right now, his war tirade, man, because he's a warmonger. And Esau in general, they're a bunch of warmongers. It says that in the scriptures. To continually gather together for war. War is in his heart. That's what they do. That's why this guy can never stop the war. Talk about ceasefire, this is ceasefire. Ain't gonna be no ceasefire. When they say there's a ceasefire, expect another attack.
Yeah. Because war's profitable, bro. But
And they're a bunch of devils. That's their blessing, though.
Yeah,
their blessing is to make war by way of the sword. That's the only way they're going to get wealthy and make their riches. By creating wars and conflicts. They're not going to be able to do it by doing righteous deeds. Because that's not in their spirit. The Lord didn't make Esau to be righteous. He made him to be the wicked.
The scripture says,
Spawn
what,
of Satan. Go ahead.
the thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. That's Esau's spirit, man.
That's his spirit.
If he
man.
comes around, you know that's what his MO is, man.
There's a
He ain't
plot.
coming to make things better.
There's a plot, there's an agenda, and there's always some backdoor type maneuvers that he's trying to do to basically usurp authority, man. That's why you can't trust this devil, man. Even though he comes all calm and calm and collected and polite. Nah, that's the worst type of devil to deal with. 'Cause he'll kill you, he'll kill your whole family in front of you, act like he never did it. You know? Yeah.
Psalms 58:1, it says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
That's Esau Edom. The way the hands of their violence on the earth, man. That's all they do. Everywhere they go, they just spread violence and war and bloodshed. It's a prime example of the situation over there in Gaza. Everyone, even like Starmer, you put up the post, Starmer and fucking Corbyn are complaining now, saying this is straight genocide, man. We're not associated with all this wickedness, man. We can't be associated with these Israelis, man, because they're just doing straight up genocide and just murdering people in cold blood.
Yeah, man.
We can't protect them no more, basically.
Yeah. They're about to say as well, like, all David Lammy, Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves, all of them, they've always been pro-Israel, man. Even, there was the other video with Starmer saying, my parents are of Jewish heritage. I've got family over. Yeah, but like these Israelis, the Israelites are doing so much fuckery on camera, bro. It's just, like if you got a lawyer and they're trying to defend you, you just keep doing fucked up shit, like, eventually, it just gets to the point, bro. It's not about beauty.
It's too evident, man. It's too evident. Someone get that shameful experience.
Yeah, man.
And then we get Obadiah as well, man. That I greatly despise. Go ahead.
Like I say as well, because even it's being exposed, man. All the social medias as well. Everybody's out in these small hats. It's even with it shows you the pull that these small hats have on the mainstream medias. Because whenever they'll like strike Gaza or they'll launch rockets or whatever, they'll always say like, oh, preemptive attack or preemptive strike. That's what they say, preemptive strike.
Yeah.
But basically, they're the aggressors, man. So how is it? So they've not done anything to you, but you're doing something to stop them from maybe trying to do something. That don't make no sense, man.
They're the antagonizers, they're the aggressors,
The villains, man, of the
and
earth.
they're the ones that profit from the war. When you want to find out who profits the worst, or find out the villain basically of any situation, especially when it comes to war, find out who's going to profit from it the most, man. You come to find out it's these JSS's, man.
Or what did they say?
These
To
small
know.
hat rats, man. They profit off every fucking conflict and every war that takes place. Every war is a banker's war, as they say. So who owns all the banks? Who owns all these international banks? Is it not these JSS's?
Yeah, man. Like BlackRock, man, they own everything, bro. That's a multinational small hat operation, bro.
And you can't say nothing about it. The minute you point it out, now you're anti-SEM and all of this. But that's like that saying. They say to know who has the rule over you is to know.
You can't criticize.
Yeah, who you can't criticize is to know who has the rule, man.
And one Edomite tried to come out on, I think it was James White, the Edomite, one of them devils, tried to say, oh yeah, you can't be anti-Semite because Esau's not from Shem or something. What did he say? I think he said the blacks are not Shemites, some shit like that.
Crazy.
But the blacks are from Shem. What are you talking about? Jacob and Esau come from the line of Shem, man. The Shemitic people. So you're going off, whoever made that stupid comment in that video, you're going totally off, saying you can't be anti-Semitic because say Jacob's not Shem or some shit like that, man. Black saying Shemites and all that. I don't know. But yeah, it's just babble basically. It's just babble. He tried to be like a scholar, but he didn't break it down properly. He didn't break it down. But he was going into the situation over there that's going on with the Israelis in Gaza. So I think he's relating it to them. Basically saying that the Israelis ain't from the line of Shem, but they are Shemites. They come from the line of Shem, just like Jacob. His twin brother, paternal twin brothers. But what did I looking for? That's instant.
Back in Psalms 58:3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Yeah, so these devils are a bunch of habitual liars. They continually lie. They won't tell you the truth, even though when you got the evidence right in front of them, plain facts right in front of them, presented to them, they're still going to deny it. They're going to try and weasel their way out of it, man, one way or another, because they will never admit to being the devils that they are, man, because they're the devil. The word devil means a deceiver, a slanderer. So he's never going to admit to the truth. They're always going to try and weasel their way out of it. They're out there just dropping bombs, and killing innocent women and children, they're then saying, oh yeah, blaming it on Hamas, or they were striking some, like you were saying, preemptive strikes. But it's all BS, man. Really, you're just out there just mercenarily killing people because you're bloodthirsty. You never have enough. As the scripture says, you enlarge if your desire is hell. You can never have enough, man. You increase in that which is not yours. That's what you devils have been doing, man. That's why you're the greatest colonizers on the face of the earth. You've been doing it since the slave trade, man. You've been doing the same shit. You did the same shit to the Native American Indians, man. That's what you're doing to them Palestinians right now. You haven't changed, man. You haven't changed.
Yeah. I was about to say, well, sure.
And you will never change, man.
You got this guy Trump as well talking about, yeah, man, we haven't let nobody into our country, no illegals. But look at you. Like, how the fuck did you people get there, bro? Like, fucking hypocrites talking about, yeah, there's very dangerous people. We can't allow them in our country. They will come and they will take over. Brother, like, Savage is just literally, bro, describing himself and he don't even know it, bro. Well, he does know it, but...
There's 2 new programs I was watching recently. One of them I'm going to watch, I just saw the trailer, is the new Batman. And it's based upon basically the northern people.
Yeah, man.
Like basically a Gadite that turns himself into Batman to kill the pilgrims and all that, man, that was coming over to colonize Cortez and that. Basically, he turns into Batman with the war paint and all that, gets the helmet, and then he kills all the Cortez and that. Them devils that was coming to steal the land, kill their women, men, and children, and steal take the villages and all that, burn the villages down and kill off their livestock and all that, man. So you got that cartoon coming out. I'm gonna watch that definitely. It's called Batman something, but basically he's dealing with that Mesoamerica, as they call it. The indigenous tribes that was over there in the Americas, pursuant to 2nd Ezra 13 and 40. Because we was always there in America, man. We've been over there for at least over 1,000 years, man, before these devils came over there, man. More like 2,000 years, because 720 something BCs before the Lord came, man, on the scene. It's 2,000 years plus another. That's like nearly 3,000 years. So Jake's been over there in Mesoamerica for centuries, man. And these devils came over there in the fucking 1400s and all that. And they knew who they was coming to discover. That's why they brought translators on their boats. Torres and all these different devils and all that to translate the Hebrew. So they could come and conquer the Israelite tribes that was over there, man.
Was it Columbus? He read Esdras, the book of Esdras and that?
It's in the history books, man. They knew that land existed, and there was a land where nowhere where mankind dwelt. Because that's the same land that King Solomon sent his mercenaries, not mercenaries, but his Navy ships and all that. What is it? What's his name? Abiff. Hiram Abiff. Him and his Navy team, he sent them over there to go and get them precious metals and wood and stone and ivory and peacocks and stuff of that nature, man. So he can come back and gold. That's why they also call it the land of Ophir. Because it was rich in gold, man. Didn't you have something called the gold rush over there in the Americas? That's another thing Esau found out about the gold rush, and he was reaping all the gold from all the mines and all that. Had Jake working in the mines to pick up all the gold and all the precious stones and all that, so they can make themselves wealthy, man. That's what these devils have been doing, man. Had Jake up in the mines, man, in Mexico and all these different places, working day and night, sweating, like a sweatshop, trying to mine out all that gold for these devils, man. Cortez and all these devils, man. They've been stealing the resources, man. But when they can never have enough. Now they want to stick chips in people, man.
That's right. Even Mama, do you see that video that I posted in the chat? I forgot the devil's name, the British devil. And he was talking about how, like, all the British colonies should be grateful to Britain for going in there and building roads and giving them fucking medicine. Because they went in there, and even though, it was a bit messed up what they did, there was more benefits than negatives. So they don't feel like reparations are suitable, because even though we don't want your reparations, because basically Britain benefited you. You wouldn't have been shit without Britain colonizing your country.
Anything to justify their wickedness, bro.
Yeah, of course.
That's the way it is. That's like the
no
spirit.
remorse. But they hold themselves not guilty at the same time. They act like they never caused it, but they benefited off it the most. Of course you fucking caused it, because you financed the whole slave trade, you financed all the colonization, you changed the names of the lands by your names, you call them by your names, all that shit, you did it, man. You're the criminals of the earth, man. You're the original criminals, original thieves of the earth. You know, you so-called white people, even known as so-called first crime family coming out of the Renaissance period, was the bourgeois family, man. You know, so you devils can't run from that history, man. It's in. That's why you're trying to hide it from the, the Google and all that, the AI and all that stuff, the Google searches, anything to do with Esau, Edom. You're trying to omit it, man, from the history books, because all your history is about crime and stealing and robbing and murdering, man. There's nothing good about your history. Even the fact that you dwelt in the caves like a damn wildebeest, a damn
Savage.
gorilla.
Yeah.
You were the original cavemen of the earth, the cave monkeys of the earth, man. So you have no real history, man. You go around stealing other people's history.
But they like to call Jake savage. They like to call Jake uncivilized and all of that. That shows you devils, man. Your spirit is just, you ain't right, man. Anything to justify your wickedness.
Yeah.
Which I got a precept for that. It says Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Yeah, man, because you got a lot of sellouts of our people, man. To name a few, and they're going to be dealt with justly by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the traitors of our people, the Judas goats. That ones that are trying to make a quick buck. The peg master, all these type of dudes, they're going to be disposed of, man. The Lord's not finished with these guys yet. He's just putting them on blast so he can, pour out that punishment, that judgment upon them. Because now you're giving the Lord credence to destroy you, man, because of your wicked deeds. But really, it goes back to Esau, because Esau is the harbinger of death, man. He's known as the harbinger of death. He's a mote that the Lord needs to really get rid of. The virus is spreading across this earth that needs to be eradicated, man. Because his theology and his mind, not his theology, but his philosophies and all that, it spreads like a virus upon the earth. That's why Babylon the Great, everyone seeks after the wisdom or worships the image of Babylon the Great, man. They want to, aspire to be like America. All these nations, man, democracy, all that bullshit. That's just philosophies of the West. Having your women usurp authority over the man. Now the woman don't want to cook and clean no more. She wants to be liberal, have her own rights, feminism and all that. That's the theology, that's the philosophies of the West that came out of the West. That's that strong drink, man, that's destroyed the whole earth. Now women don't want to do their normal duties no more because the so-called white man told them you can be free, just be a harlot, man, and no one can touch you. Because if they do, then you can take them to court and he'll make sure that you get all the money you deserve. So it's just pure wickedness, man. This devil needs to be taken out.
Yeah, because they say like the birth rate of all these Western countries are declining. Women are having, if they're lucky, one child. And then technically speaking, if you've got two people that come together and they only produce one offspring, naturally the number of people in the country are going to decline, because when those two people die, they only have one product, man. You need to have at least 2.5 children each to even keep things afloat on average, man. And these women nowadays, well, they don't even want to have your child for you, because at the end of the day,
they've got their abortion clinics to take care of that.
Yeah, exactly.
The number one murderer of the black babies and all that is a nigger woman. She's killed millions and millions upon millions of babies in that fucking abortion clinic, man. Planned Parenthood and all that.
Right.
That's why they love this place, man, because they can get rid of their seed. They can do all kinds of wickedness and be held unaccountable for all the wicked actions that they've done. Even committing adultery, they get supported by the system instead of persecuted. Like in the scriptures, you're supposed to get persecuted for committing adultery. But this society vilifies it, it basically pedestals it, like to say it's an acceptable thing. But that's a sin unto death in the scriptures.
Even before a woman, even though it's all wicked on this side, before a woman gets married, she goes on a stag do, bro. What the fuck is that? Where you see that in the scriptures, bro? For your one last ride with Holden, just go to the strip club and just get fucked out in the back by some.
Yeah, many girls have been caught, slipping basically, smashing a stripper, or blowing them off and all that, doing madness. And then next day you're gonna get fucking married
because this is crazy.
So-called tied or not. It's this wickedness, man. You can't trust none of these harlots. That's why men don't even want to get married nowadays. Just hitting and quitting, because you can't trust these bitches, man. They celebrate cheating and adultery like to say it's a good thing.
Yeah, and if I can say as well, bro, like even with these Jake celebs as well, they're simple in what they're doing, but like a lot of these women, when you hit these quick opportunist women, bro, a year later down the line, bro, when she sees your meal ticket, she gonna call up the police and say, "Yo, he raped me in like
You see,
2002."
yeah, well, he's got this guy Michael Ward, man, trying to get him on 2 counts of rape and all that, and that's some situation that happened years ago. And it could be true, it could not be true, but why did it take 2 years to deal with a case for some rape situation? Obviously, it's either they're just getting some dirt on him because he's not doing his job, or they just want to, get rid of him, man. But that's what happens when you make the deal with the devil, man. You can't trust this devil, man. You do a Faustian bargain with the devil, thinking shit's sweet, and then before you know it, you could be behind bars. Your whole career could be down the shitter, man. That's these jakes that put their trust in Esau, man. They trust their father, the devil. But Esau is the ultimate devil, man, because he pushes that type of behavior for Jake to partake in anyway. That's why you get all these Diddies and all that from the Clive James. You get all these Diddlers, the R. Kellys, all these guys that come out of the woodworks, the young Phillies, Michael Wards, all these characters come out because that's the behavior and lifestyle that they live in, man, because they wanted to make themselves rich. So they think they're untouchable. Some of these guys think they're untouchable, but the shit can come back to haunt you, man. Like this guy Michael Ward right now, whether it's true or not, his career's basically just been paralyzed, man. But that's for these Hollywood niggas. The average Jake ain't doing that, man. Jake's on this side, that's on the lower, spectrum of the paying field and all that. What the average citizens and all that. We ain't got time for that BS, man. Jake just deal with what they got to do. Now you got wicked ass Jakes anyway, but for the most part, man, what these celebs are doing is straight whoredom anyway, man. They're promiscuous demons and sluts and whores and a bunch of industry slurs, man. So they're just caught up with that lifestyle, man.
That's what short-lived anyway, man.
That's what I told you, man. The love of money is the root of all evil.
A quick one.
Yeah, 15 minutes of fame, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
Yeah, man, and that goes to the men of the Lord. Us men that are out here, brothers like us, from apostles and elders of great millstone on down, that are out there on the highways and hedges week in and week out, prophesying that the downfall of this wicked ass society, this kingdom, man. Because that's what a prophet's supposed to do. A prophet's not supposed to be trying to be PC and be friendly with the world, or say I'm going to give up take your hand off the plow and go back into the world or some shit. That's a weak-minded soul, man. That's a weak-minded specimen right there. That's someone that's been rejected by the Holy Spirit to think like that. You thought this was a part-time job. No, this is a full-time slot, mate. Once you come into this thing, it's La Familia, man. La Costa Nostra, man. You can't leave. The only way you're going to leave is by death. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of these guys that came into this truth and took this truth for a joke, tried to make merchandise, make their money, and then sail off into the sunset. The Lord's going to deal with you, man. Lord's keeping you around thinking that you're free. So when that time of judgment comes, your ass is going to be handed to you, man, on a platter. The guys like Alazar, Bon Lawyer and all that, I don't even know what he calls himself now, still guerrilla Hebrew, whatever. He's marked for death, man, because he turned his back on the Lord. He took his hand off the plow, and now he wants to just be a podcaster, pegmaster of the world, man. So the Lord's going to deal with that guy. So it's obvious that he's still partaking in that lascivious behavior because he said he wants to live and be free. He said he just wants to live his life and be free. So basically he wants to just be, promiscuous and be a mo until the missiles come. And he's going to end up taking that seat here. Because the Lord's not dealing with that clown anyway. He was never really dealing with him. He just had him in the cup to expose him to those men that are part of the condemnation, man, the ones that are condemned. Just like Genesis as well, those two magpies, man, those two reprobate spirits, Deacon Akar and Hassad, they're gonna taste nuclear fire too. They're a bunch of reprobates, man. They're bugged out, man. Talk about Bosra's over there, America's Bosra in the Middle East. The 2/3 are gonna be taken up in a chariot and dumped over there in the river of Bosra. Why would the 2/3 get beamed up in the first place? And if the 2/3 get beamed up, they're gonna have to change. They're gonna be changed. The Lord said in the twinkle of an eye, the elect are gonna be changed as soon as they get beamed up. So why would the Lord beam up the 2/3? That means he's gonna have to save them, and then he's gonna dump them in the fucking river over there in Bosra. It don't make no fucking sense, man. It shows how bugged out you guys are, man. You got you magpie niggas, man. And that's because you came from that house of thieves and daggers, man. That Sakari group, that splinter group of Sakari. You come from that lot. So your leader was a fucking loose cannon. He was a lost soul. So you guys are a bunch of reprobate spirits too. Erring and understanding. They keep adding and taking away from the scriptures. Talking about, what did they say? Revelation 13 and 9 and 10. It's not talking about putting other nations into slavery. So what the hell is it talking about then? The saints that are patiently waiting to put their enemies into captivity. What is it talking about? You say, it's not talking about, but the king of Tyre is not talking about America. You know that in Ezekiel 28. What are you talking about, man? You guys are bugged the fuck out, man. But this shows you the Lord has rejected a lot of men in this truth. Just because you wear a border and blue fringes doesn't make you a man of the Lord. If you keep wearing them stupid Greek hats, them Greekish fashions and all that, with the undergarment t-shirts. Now they got these black undergarment t-shirts that they wear. They look like a bunch of sissies, man. You look like you're just wearing underwear with a microphone in your damn hand. Yeah. You can see Hassad's guy, he's stepping into that lot of Al-Azhar, man. He's trying to be that top guy, top speaker now. He's the main guy on the mic and all that. He's trying to do all this breaking down. Because you guys are off, man. Wow. And if you don't repent, Lord said to Hassad, you're supposed to repent. Just teach the truth, man. But he's under the spirit of that Sakari spirit, man. The off spirits, man. They're still dealing. They still got them spirits around them. Because that deacon of car, man. So them guys are gonna keep going off till the Lord just destroy them all.
Precept.
Good riddance, man.
It's Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
Yeah, you got King of Babylon, Donald Trump. He's just a loose guy. He's got dementia. He's losing his marbles. 1 minute he's saying one thing, then he's doing the total opposite. And he's acting like, people ain't got the receipts on what he's been saying, man. People have been pulling out bare receipts of things that he's been saying, and the things that he's doing now, the total opposite to what he said he was going to do when he stepped into office. One of the main things he said he was going to release the Epstein files, and now all of a sudden the Epstein files don't exist. It don't make sense. So why is Ghislaine Maxwell still in prison then?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is she in jail? For what? Crimes that didn't exist?
Yeah, bro.
What did she get charged with then? She didn't partake in no wickedness, man. Yeah. So how can it be all of a sudden you had all this information and all of a sudden it's just been redacted from the history books, it's just disappeared off the face of the earth? That's why no one puts their trust in. Even your own MAGA people are turning against you, man. Because you're the false hope. You're the false hope of the American people. Try to present yourself as the new Messiah, as the savior of America, make America great again. And America's turned into another shambles, man, under another shambolic leader. Erring and understanding. Biden was the sleepy Joe. Now this guy's got dementia. He's getting old and grey. He's been on the Epstein Island hundreds of times. He was in his bedroom for like 15 years.
You see the videos of him dancing.
All kind of videos. Man said, I never knew the guy. We was never friends. Man said he was friends for like 15 years, man. Buddy. Talking about smashing this girl, smashing this other girl together and all that. What are you talking about, man?
You seen the video about him talking about his daughter? He said, like,
if he wasn't
my daughter, have sex with her.
What was Sleepy Joe doing? He was been known for raping up, children and all that. Yeah. And even his own children, even his own daughter said something against him, man. Yeah, said that he's a freak. He's a freak of nature.
His son's on crack.
He's a creep.
Everyone,
Hunter Biden. Yeah. He's the biggest snorter in the whole west of America, man.
His dad has to give him that presidential pardon for
He's the biggest snorter in the whole of America, man.
Crack.
And that's his son. But at the same time, he was putting Jake into jail for petty crimes, man.
Yeah, man. Well, there's that viral video of Biden with the young Edomite bitch, and he's sniffing the bitch's hair like on live camera, bro, where the cameras are rolling. Just like touching her up and sniffing it like.
It just shows you that all these leaders are just demons, man. And that's why we're not supposed to seek for any other leaders of another nation to be a leader over us. That's in the scriptures, man. We're not supposed to look for no other nation as their people to lead over us, man. Because they're off anyway. They're a bunch of heathens. The Lord said, follow not the way of the heathen, man. But now, this guy is the perfect guy because he's going to lead America down that path of destruction, man. Abu Rahazar. And as soon as that mandatory chipping comes into play, the RFID hit, which is the MOT to the B, gets made mandatory. Not too long after that, the missiles are going to be flying, man. And it's all because it's going to be all because of this guy, fucking King Trump, man, and Bibi Netanyahu. It's going to be because of them. The provocation of war that's happening over there in the Middle East is because of Bibi, man. He's going to lead all these other nations, like NATO troops, NATO groups and all that, countries, allies and all that, into that third world war to be destroyed, man. And America's going to get the backdraft of it.
But
Any more on that?
That was it.
Just on the previous point on having the Israelite over. Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Yep.
Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Jehovah thy God shall choose. And I just say as well, like here in the UK, we got over 100k people that are registered to what's his name, Jeremy Corbyn's new party, because Jake are completely lost. They're looking for another Edomite to save them out of the hands of Esau. So now, like, because the Labour and the Conservative thing ain't working, and they don't want to vote Lib Dem, they think Jeremy Corbyn's gonna save Britain and make everything all good for them.
Well, he's just another shield, man. He might be speaking that good stuff, but he's just another shield for the wicked elite, man. They all bought and paid for. They all compromise intelligence for the wicked elite, man. Whether it's Corbyn, Steinmeier, or any other anyone that's calling themselves a politician is basically bought and paid for, man.
Yep.
You know, and especially over there in the West, they're bought and paid for by APAC, man, by the lobbyists and all that. They work for the JOSS's, man, and they can't diverge out of that, otherwise they end up like JFK in the back of a van somewhere, man. You know, that's what happens, man. So, you know, and the reason why they assassinated that guy is because he was bringing out all the dirt on what the Israelis was doing. And how they was trying to steal all the, the weaponry from America and all that, man. That's why they got rid of that guy. It was the Jewish mafia and Mossad and all that. They wanted to get him out of there because he was exposing their secrets, man. And he was supposed to be part of the gang, and he was going against the gang rules. So they got rid of him, man. So anyone that goes against the grain, that's why Trump, at first he was acting like he was an anti and all this, anti-establishment and anti the bankers and all that stuff. But then the second election, what? He's playing ball with them. He's endorsing them. You know, he's promoting all their fucking their agenda. You know, he's bought and paid for it. It's all a sham. It's all a show, man. It's all a show just to keep you going and entertained, man. Thinking that you got someone to fight for. It's like same thing with this Jeremy Corbyn new party. All these guys are a bunch of rejects in the spirit, man. And they're not for you. They're not even of our people, man. They're not for you, man. When are you niggas gonna wake up and smell the coffee? You're never gonna smell the coffee. You're just gonna have to die, man. As Isaiah 69, the Lord said that basically until the nuclear missiles come, that's when the 2/3 are gonna wake up. Because you won't wake up because of the simple fact that the Lord don't want you to wake up. The 2/3, the undesirables, the unwritten, all right and righteousness and deceivableness, and them that are not saved, because they put their trust in lies and all that, as it roughly paraphrases from 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. You guys have been sanctioned for death, man. You know, because you won't put your holy trust in the one of Israel, which is our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, but you trust this white man, even though he's backstabbed you so many times and fucked you over, and he keeps increasing the tax, and you have to keep paying for all these tax brackets and paying for all these wars and paying for foreign, paying for foreign interests and stuff of that nature, because it's all a setup, man. It's all a money racket. This whole system is a money racket machine run by the wicked elite. It's just like having a big slot machine in or a big casino, and all the people of the earth are basically the traders and consumers of the, trying to make their money, so to speak. But they own the fucking banks, man.
House always wins.
The house always wins, man. That's owned by who? The international bankers. So America's just one big fucking casino, man. Or this whole system in general. That's why it needs to be destroyed. Because the righteous are never going to win, man.
So it goes on to say, so 1 second.
You would have thought our people would have learned from when Obama was put in.
Okay.
From what did Obama do for you? Which he's not even a J.
I got me an Obama phone.
Niggas always talk about black president. He's not your people, man.
Well, he did more rights for the LGBT, alphabet freaks, man, than he did for. They had most, police brutalities
Biggest
and
pride
killings
parades and all that.
under that guy, man, that devil.
And that's why he's pushing for every Jake now to be affiliated with a damn Mo. Showing you that he's not for our people, man. He's a demon, man. He's a damn Hamite, man.
They're set up, man.
Yeah.
He's a freak of nature, man. He needs to be killed. He needs to be dealt with accordingly, man. He needs to be his head needs to be put on the cinder block and chopped off for that stupid statement that he made, man.
It says, thou shalt in any wise set king over thee, whom the Lord Jehovah thy God shall choose. One from thy brethren shall thou set king over thee.
Brethren, that's talking about fellow Israelite, man. And that's not talking about another nation. brethren means a person that's from your kin, from your lineage, from your line, man. Can be any other person except as long as they're from the 12 tribes of Israel. Could be a Gadite, a Reubenite, whatever, man, Judite. But it has to be an Israelite. That's the main thing. Can't be a fucking Edomite. But you got Jake just running, bowing down to these Edomites, hook, line, and sinker, man, every time. Every 4 years, they're begging for another Edomite to rule over them, to press them. They put their trust in oppression. It tells you that in the scriptures. Woe unto you that put your trust in oppression, man. Go to this devil for help.
Yeah, man. It says here, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So, hey, like at the end of the day, no matter who you vote for, the left or the right paradigm, man, it's not set for you to rule, like to succeed here. But they are in that spirit where they hate Yahushua and they hate them that prophesy from the gate. When Yahushua was on the scene trying to help wake you niggas up, the first thing they said was they wanted Barabbas freed so that they could get Yahushua crucified. And then they said straight up, we have no king but Caesar. So they were in the same mentality of basically Esau Edom is the one that's going to liberate us. Like, what did the scribes and the Pharisees say unto the 12 when they caught them preaching Yahushua Acts 5? They said, listen, you fill Jerusalem with your doctrine, and unless you stop, the Romans are going to come down and take our seat. That's the type of mentality they had. There was bare David Lammy equivalents and fucking and Kemi Bedenox and them kind of women around and Jakes in general. Then and the same now, man. Same way the spirits of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Those scoffers and those wicked niggas is back here again, man.
Yeah, the same ones that said, let his blood be upon them and their children.
Yeah, man.
They cursed themselves, man. So that's why, the Lord's really got it against the 2/3 of our people, man. They're going to pay for the wickedness and the bloodshed they caused from in the past, man. That's why the Lord's got those blinders on them. That's why they're not going to wake up. That's why they always fight against the truth the most, man.
Yeah, King David prophesied and said, let that table and made a snare against them, and that should have been for their good, for their judgment. So,
Yeah, and that's why, 2/3, man, you're going to get in these last days. You see how they said they started to build extensions for the Alcatraz internment camps, man. Then re-education camps, concentration camps. They said they're going to extend it, So the Alcatraz, that's just one of many. Then they said they're going to build another one over there in Texas, man. They're going to build another internment camp, which they already got these FEMA camps on lock anyway, but they're just building more of them because they're going to have more bodies to pile up with. There's more citizens and all that in America now anyway, so there's going to be, they're going to pile up the whole of them camps with all kinds of jakes, man, and the other nations too. Because Esau's really going to declare war on the American citizens. He's going to declare war on mainly Jake. But even the average Edomite, anyone that's caught out there, that's an enemy of the state and all that, the MAGAs and all that, they're going into them re-education camps too, man. No one's safe, man.
yeah,
That's why they're always targeting celebs, because they're showing you little example of what they're going to do to the average citizen, man. They go after the Tates and all that, the Alex Joneses and all that, to show you what they're going to do to your dumbasses, man, when that time comes. Because you people are simple as all hell, man. You don't understand that this government's against all people, it's against everyone, it's not just against celebs. He's just making an example of them because they got money. But when that time comes, man, he's going to be throwing you niggas up in them Alcatraz concentration camps. And your asses are going to be starving to death, man. You're going to be crying for baby Jesus and all of that. And the Lord ain't going to hear your cries in that day. You're just going to be suffering. You're going to be starving to death, all of that. Then you're going to turn to cannibalism, man. A lot of people are going to be so much rage in the streets. Like all these films that they're releasing now, like post-apocalyptic movies, are basically people just losing their mind and going crazy on each other. There's a new one called, Weapons or something like that. I ain't even seen the whole trailer, but this looks sickening, man. And there's another one I just watched the other day. What's that called, man? It's like proper like it was like The Road. But 40 Acres. Oh shit. I put the link in the chat for the brothers to watch. And that's basically based around the Jake family. The Northern Kingdom was a Gadite as a stepfather. The nigger woman is the main character. And basically they had to turn themselves into, and their family, the children and all that, which was mixed of Gad and Judah. So it was like 5 or 6 of them, and they basically had to, this was basically the time of Jacob's trouble. There was a famine in the land, there was no resources, so they basically had to secure the land, the 40 acres that was around them, from other people that was coming to steal their crops and all of that, and there was eating people as well. And they would go to different people's farms and all that.
Yeah.
And there's Edomites that was going into different people's farms and cutting off their resources and their Medicaid and all that stuff. And, it was just bare hell. So it was kill or be killed out there, man. And he had the Jake family, which was mixed of Judah and Ephraim, showing that the tribes are going to come back together. And that they're one people. Esau knows that they're one people. That's why he mixed up Gad and Judah in the household, you know. And they was out there going against Esau, man. Showing you that time of Jacob's trouble, seditious times is coming, man. It was basically like The Purge, The Road, all their movies rolled into one, you know. 28 days later and all that type of, you know, Purge type movie, man. Where it's going to be survival of the fittest, basically. Even the children had to be strapped and kill people. And they all had to follow their duties and all that, man. It was very like, it was a very good movie, man. Even though it's not a Hollywood blockbuster, but 40 Acres is a good movie for brothers to watch. Showing you that the time we're coming into, but their things they were dependent on, it was weapons. Well, the only weapons we need is the scriptures, man. We've got the true weapon of our faith is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We don't need no actual physical weapons, man, because that's not how we're going to be delivered out here. The Lord said He's going to endow certain men with spiritual power, man. So we're not going to be able to fight Esau with his own weapon, with his own blessing, which is the sword. We're going to lose that battle, you know. But we got something that's greater than that, which is spiritual power, which comes through having faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's how we're going to defeat the devil and his army and his insurgents when they come, man. At the time of Jacob's trouble. For the most part, you Jakes out there, it's going to be survival of the fittest for you, because the Lord's not going to protect you, man. You're going to be out there stealing, robbing, looting, polluting, and shooting up the place, and basically it's be kill or be killed, man. But that's part of your judgment. And then also part of Jacob's trouble is that a lot of you are going to end up in them fucking internment camp facilities, man, to take that hit technology, man. And if you don't, your heads are going to get chopped off. So that's the times we're coming into, man. Some real purge-like type season, man. Kill or be, time to kill, basically. Go ahead.
Scripture speaks about the sword of the Spirit. You know, that's how, the men of the Lord are going to be operating. The scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. So when all hell's breaking loose, when, because even just the other day, what was it, just yesterday, there was basically like a shutdown of the net. I don't know if brothers, experienced it, but even with like
the WhatsApp or some shit like that.
Yeah, like certain phone networks, they were just like down. You couldn't call out, you couldn't take calls. The time's coming, man, where it's going to be even worse than that, man. There's going to be no communications, all cell phone systems, tower, blocks and systems down.
They're going to shut down the whole grid.
Yeah, all of that stuff, man. Blackouts, all of that stuff is coming, man. Even, what was it? You had in the news recently, newscasters, they were saying how basically prepare for a summer of riots, man. That's what the police, like the Essex police and stuff, because all these protests and stuff like that, they're saying, they're expecting a summer of riots, man. So we're in turbulent times.
That's the vibration of the earth, and really it's the Lord pushing that spirit on the earth right now, because he's going to wrap this shit up. The Lord's about to wrap this place up, man, if you didn't know. That's why the turmoil that the Lord says is going to be, diverse earthquakes in diverse places, and, rousing up of the people. The Lord's rousing up Jake right now. All these police beatings that Jake has been getting. A lot of Jakes have been, pulled out of their cars and getting beaten half to death. Because the Lord's trying to rouse up the spirit of Jake, because Jake's like a couch lion, man. And the Lord said He's the only one who can rouse them up. So He's going to show more videos of Jake's getting harassed and taken out by police, or getting held up in some racism type situation and being attacked by the other nations, and especially Esau, either, body found dismantled somewhere, dismembered somewhere and all that. A lot of this shit's going to start taking place because the Lord's rousing the spirit up. Sedition amongst people, the second Ezra's 9:1, someone wants to get that. We're in that time, man, because the Lord's wrapping this place up. The Lord's about to really seal this place with that pure destruction, man. We ain't got no time to waste. That's why we were supposed to have the spirit of hastening in the day. Even the other I read an article, just sitting down the other day, that said regarding the Mexican citizens, they're all going to have to get biometric devices now. That's going into the MOT to the B. It's saying they're all going to have biometric IDs. What's that going into? And they said all citizens will have it now in Mexico. So soon it's going to be mandatory that everyone gets that C-HIP technology, man, in America.
100%. At the end of the day, this whole artificial intelligence push, they're pushing it like it's going to, it will be. They're saying artificial intelligence is going to be like when the internet first came, which is literally going to be used to power the chip.
And all that shit.
Yeah, man. The Internet of Things is going to be literally be used to plug you into the Internet of Things to where you become a part of the machine, man.
Well, they just gave this guy a Nobel Prize of the, what's his name, Jeffrey Hinton. They call him the Godfather of AI.
Yeah, yeah.
He just, they gave him a Nobel Prize. And why did they give him that? Because we're in that time where they're about to change the whole system, man. Everything's going to go digital. So that's why like this guy, is supposed to be the Godfather of AI, and he deals with biotechnology. Because bio goes into the body, and technology deals with what? Technology, man. Biotechnology, all this AI, he was a neuroscientist as well, so he was doing that Neuralink shit. He's like a real neuroscientist, not like that fake Elon Musk. Because he's not even a fucking real scientist. He's just a guy that took on the heritage of, someone else's company. He's really just a business guy that took on that stead for Neuralink, man. And he's put his face there. He's the face of the company, but he's not no real neurologist and all that shit, man. He don't really know nothing about that. But the real godfather of AI, the real top scientist who created that shit, George Hinton, he's about that life. He's a top neuroscientist, and he deals with biotechnology. So why did they give him the Nobel Prize all of a sudden? Because this is part of the New World Order, man. Really, he should be the one behind Neuralink, But, he goes back to it, and he said he came out of Canada and all that, whatever. He's British. I think he's got some British family ties as well. But he basically goes back to one of them German Tiemenites, man. Because that's the wise men of Tiemann. He basically goes back to them families, man. The Albert Einsteins and that came out of Germany and shit. All them scientists. He comes from that stock, So that's the wise men of Tiemann. They're the ones bringing forth this biotechnology, this biometric devices, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID hit. Well, while you got Nate out here still straining that and that, trying to find every which reason to deny the mark of the beast is the C hit, because he's been bought off and paid for, man, because he's been compromised, basically. He's a sellout, man.
Basically, false teachers, man, that are going to have blood on their hands.
Yeah.
When this prophecy comes to pass, man, when the MOTB is mandatory, they're going to be missing, man. They're
What they
going to have
gonna
to
do?
answer. The people, they're going to be after their throats, man.
Yeah,
Because they deceive the people.
You're going to be looking real stupid, man. Because for years you've been going against what the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have been saying, and they haven't deviated. From 07 when they came on YouTube, they've been telling brothers what the mark of the beast is. Since the 90s they've been telling brothers what the mark of the beast is, man. But you want to come out with all your different, theologies or different breakdowns and be double-minded and be wish-washy and changing the doctrine every other couple of months, man. And it's going to come to find out that you guys are a bunch of liars, man. You're a bunch of charlatan leaders, man. You're not the true man of the Lord. You look the part, but you're really not those guys, man. You look the part because you broaden your phylacteries and, got all the garments and all that, printed and proper. You got all the trim and proper, everything's looking all decadent and royal, priestly garments and shit. You guys are like the wicked scribes and Pharisees, man. A bunch of sellouts, man. You ain't teaching the truth. You're in this truth for other reasons, man, to make that quick buck. Because you sold out, man. But the Lord's discovering all your skirts. The Lord's basically shining the light on you other guys to show you that you're not the true man of the Lord, man. That's what's happening. And you guys, instead of repenting, you're being hard-headed. That's why scriptures tell you in Proverbs, man. The man is often rebuked, stiffening his heart. You're gonna end up being destroyed, man, if you don't repent. Because when you hear the men of the Lord from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone speaking to you, that's a straight, conversation, or straight. That's the Lord basically trying to talk to you, man. The Lord speaks through His men. The Lord's trying to get you right through His men, man. So if you want to err, if you don't want to understand that, and you keep coming against that stiffening heart in your heart and all that, the Lord's just gonna be like, alright, cool, man. I warned you enough times. Now the judgment's got to come, man. You got to deal with that. Now deal with the judgment, man. With all that blood in your hands. That's why it's just good. It's best to just be humble. Get rid of the pride and ego. Just be humble and fucking repent, man. Stop being fucking hard-headed, man. Jake, man. We'll end up like fucking Alazar.
Second Ezra. This is Second Ezra, chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Yeah, these are all signs from the Lord, man. And that's why we can't live in ignorance, man. Like, I saw a video the other day. and it was like a seashore, and the water just started to descend like off the shoreline, and it looked like it was just going so far back, like there was going to be some massive wave that was just going to tear up everyone. Now, if we was around that situation and we was in that location, brothers would see that and be like, look, man, that's a sign from the Lord. Let's get the fuck up out of it. We ain't gonna argue. We're like, look, that's not normal. That's not something that's normal, man. The seashore residing like that. Something crazy is about to happen. Let's get the fuck up out of it. That's a small example of how the Lord shows you signs of things to come. Or we hear about planes crashing, all this. That's why brothers ain't, trying to do things in the world too much, man. Want to go to this party, and all that, and then you find out, man, they're getting shot. All these 10 men got shot, stray bullets just lace up everyone and all that. That's why you're not trying to do too much. All that worldly shit, you're gonna get yourself caught out there, man. The Lord said not to be in that spirit, man. Should we then make mirth? What spirit are we supposed to be in, man? When we know our enemies plotting against us to entangle us and put us in prisons, basically, and chop our heads off, man. Should we be in the spirit of mirth and folly? No. We're supposed to be more vigilant and diligent than ever, man. More prayerful than anything, man. As soon as you come out, that's what happens. As soon as you get into the car, bare demons on the highway, trying to activate it, just looking like they was gonna do some Crash Bandicoot on the roads, man. Doing Mario Karts on the road. Cars are just swerving in and out of lanes. There's just bare demons activated, man. You gotta be vigilant, man. Because Satan's out here like a roaring lion, man. So that's why anywhere we go, any people we talk to, we gotta be very discerning, man. And you always gotta have the scriptures in mind. You can't just be just worldly and just be like lost in the soul. Oh yeah, it's a good day and nice weather and all that. You can't be like that, man. If you're like that, you're an idiot, man. You're gonna get caught out there when all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Your head in the clouds and all that shit. This is not the time to be with your head in the clouds, man.
Yeah, so the second chapter says, make not haste in time of trouble, set the heart aright and constantly endure.
And you gotta remember the enemy's always constantly watching. You may not think so, but the enemy's always watching you. We're like fucking Snowden and all these type of guys to these wicked elite. But we're the worst of the worst because we're actually teaching the truth. We're being bought for and compromised. Snowden's a sellout anyway. All these guys, they're all bought and paid for. But the men of the Lord, us, man, we're the real true targets, man. They really want to get rid of us, man. By any means necessary, man. They'll send women to come and get you. They'll send your own family members against you. All that. They'll pay people off. You might not think it's going to be that serious, but it'll be that serious, man. So you got to be very mindful of what you're doing, man, who you're engaging with, man. That's why you got to keep the whole armor. Ephesians 6 and 12, man, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Them spirits are out there, they're activated. And them demons are jumping on any which persons, even animals, to try and get you off the path, man. Trust and belief. So you got to be very fucking discerning the spirit and the mind, especially in these last days, man. All hell's about to break loose. You out there lollygagging. Go ahead.
It's Ecclesiasticus 9 and 13. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Yeah, man, you gotta be careful, man. Just mindful of what you're doing, mindful what you're engaging with, and try and stay away from certain things, man. Like even if it comes to family relations and all that, don't get too hemmed up, because spirits jump on everyone, man. And they get you into court cases and all of this shit. The small situations can lead into bigger situations. So you gotta be mindful, man. Brothers should know this, but you gotta say it because brothers can be simple sometimes, man. Brothers can be very simple. Israel's known as his children, man, means they're very fucking ignorant, man. You have to keep reinforcing things and telling them over again. And then when shit hits the fan, that's when they realize that they fucked up. We ain't always gonna have the time to keep warning you, man. You gotta get this for yourself. The Lord said, with all that, get understanding.
Wisdom is the principal thing, man.
And what's the other precept? Be fully persuaded in your own mind.
Yeah, I've got some.
Go ahead.
2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and if I can just say as well, like, that's why you gotta be on your guard 24/7, because it could be a seemingly nice summer day where the weather's just perfect, the breeze is just right, everything's seemingly very nice. The ice cream van pulls up, the children are running up to get food, and then out of nowhere, bro, anarchy just rises, because what the Lord's gonna do is he's gonna catch these people unaware, man.
Exactly.
These people are gonna be in a state of comfort, and that's what you can't ever start getting comfortable, man. You gotta know that this ain't our rest. It
And
says,
they show you that in all those
Yeah.
end time movies, man. What, like,
Yeah,
what was
exactly.
it? Children of Men.
The Lord likes to deal with the element of surprise, man. He likes to catch people when they're slipping. That's why you always got to be on point. And like the Lord said, he's going to come as a thief in the night. You don't know when the thief is coming, but he's going to come.
I don't forget that scene, man, in Children of Men, that the opening scene, you know, they had that calf, dude was getting his coffee, normal day, yeah, business as usual, mate.
Boom.
That was it.
yeah, it says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and that's all going to be super quick as well. It's not going to take long. Within 1 hour, the landmass of America is going to be destroyed, as is written.
Exactly.
The earth also and the works
So you ain't going to have nowhere to run to. You can't get to no airport. You won't be able to line up and get on no planes. None of that shit, man. Get on no boats or all that. You can get on the fucking yacht on a boat. You're gonna get drowned out in that water. That water's gonna get vaporized by that fire, man. So that's like one of the worst places to be. It's either that or Leviathan's gonna find you. You know? That's one of the worst places to be in the time of judgment, man. In the water. In the midst of the oceans and we're trying to sail away. You ain't gonna make it, man. You ain't gonna be. If you're in the shores of America, you're not gonna be able to make it off that land or the shores, because that fire is just gonna toast everything in that region, and the Lord's gonna make sure everyone gets hit. Go ahead.
It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, so literally nothing you hold dear is gonna withhold its judgment. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
So even when seeing that all these, what manner of persons you ought to be, in Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife knew what time it was, but she turned her back. She looked back, man. She knew that place was going to be destroyed, but she held on to that place dearly, man. She missed the merchandise and the goodly pleasures of that world, the worldly pleasures of that land. She lusted after it, basically, or the things that were there for her. So she looked back, and then she got toasted, man. And that's the majority of our people. They're gonna end because they're gonna be looking back, and they're gonna want to stay in Babylon. They're gonna remember all the good times they had in America, all the pride parades and all that. They'll be like, no, can't do it, don't want to leave. And they're gonna end up toast, man. Nuclear toast, just like Lot's wife, man. But this time there ain't gonna be no pillars. They're all gonna just turn into dust, just residue, man. You know.
Yeah, man. That's right. Because like what the Lord's doing as well is that He's going to bring this judgment to make sure that people remember His name, like, and they're gonna fear it also. Like when we left Egypt, Rahab the harlot and her family spoke to the spies that Joshua sent, and then she said, like, we've heard about the great judgment that the Lord brought against Egypt. Because you gotta remember as well, like, and that's why Apostle Gabar will always go into the importance of historical context. Egypt was such a powerful nation. It was seen as madness to even think that you would be able to take them down. Back then, there was not much of the world they hadn't explored, but by ancient standards, Egypt was a massive nation and with loads of other sub-nations underneath them. So when the Lord took them down, everyone was talking about it, like, yo, God of the Israelites took down Egypt. All the nations were in fear. You even had nations that came to Joshua and just waved the white flag and said, yo, we just don't want no smoke with you. We'll be your services. Don't kill us. You get it? But on this side, everyone's going to witness it, number one, and then they're going to fear. So, like, even though that in the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth, we're going to be ruling these nations, instilling the law of Yahweh Hashmi Hawashai in them, and they're going to do it willingly because they're going to be fearful of us and what the Lord will do to them if they fuck around, man.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna die, man. That's why there's a lot of beings on the earth right now, because the Lord, 8 billion souls, man. The Lord's gonna kill a lot of people, man. And there's also gonna be a lot of slaves left too, which makes even that much better for us, because we're gonna go around capturing a lot of nations and putting them on slave ships and charting their ass back to the Holy Land to work on the Lord's kingdom, man, to build up our kingdom. You know, Lord willing, we'll be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai when He returns. So that's the beautiful thing, man. Also, a lot of people are going to die. 2/3 is definitely going to get wasted in the land of America. But out of the 1/3, the 144,000, they're going to go around enslaving all the rest of the other nations that didn't get destroyed by the nuclear fire. You know, and we're going to enslave them, man. We're going to enslave them and put them on, put them to work. Especially the wicked elite banking families, man. We're going to have fun catching their asses wherever they're at, whether they're in the depths of the oceans, in the underwater cities, or they're in the underground bunkers, or they're hiding in some some shuttle or whatever, some like Elysium and shit like that. We're gonna find them and we're gonna enslave them and we're gonna put chains on their asses. You know, we're gonna have pleasure in fucking their asses up. It's been a long time coming, man. That's the patience and the faith of the saints, man. Fuck what Genesis is saying, man. Genesis Israelites, you know. You niggas are gone, man. You niggas are toast. You guys are just, like Jake just think this Israelite thinks it's it's just a trendy thing. That's why you do with the t-shirts and the logo, G Israelites. What the fuck was that all that about, man? Like, what are you in this truth for, man? You guys are in this shit for gimmicks, man. IUIC, they think they're the fucking Lords of Thunder. Every other video's got thunders and, storms and shit in their videos, and they think they're the Marvel superheroes of Israel, man. You ain't no Marvel Israelites, man. The Lord's not even dealing with you cats on that level anyway. And it's going to be surprising when the true men of the Lord receive that spiritual power, and you guys are in awe of that, man. You're going to come looking for the men of the Lord to help you. I guarantee you're going to be posting those videos up of yourselves with a cape and all that shit, and all that Marvel shit going on with the AI and all that in that day. When you see the true men of the Lord doing some bright burning and shit, flying and all that, man, healing the sick and all these different things. You guys are going to be shitting yourself, man. You ain't going to want to come across a man of the Lord in that day, because you guys ain't in the right spirit, man. The Lord might have them jack your asses up.
Jeremiah 51, man, the Lord said he will make us his battle axe and weapons of war.
Exactly, going to turn us into hunters. And we're going to be hunting 2/3 of our people down too. So you don't want to run into those men in that day. Shit ain't going to be sweet for you. You're going to be in the Lord's hit list, man. We want to get you niggas out of there too, man, because you guys are annoying. And you refuse to repent. Stiff-hearted. It's stiff as adamant rock, man. So we're going to destroy you, man.
This is Revelation chapter 21, start from 1. It says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea."
Yeah, and after that, read Revelation 15. It goes into the same breakdown, basically, from the first verse. Then I got victory over the image and his mark. So the elect are going to have a first front row seat of seeing America burn, man. Yep. And then after a while, we're only going to take an hour, but we're going to be up there for a while, chilling in the ships, man. Rejoicing, crying tears of joy, sigh of relief. And we're going to have the new bodies as well. And we're going to see how it shine, man, in his greatness, man, in his fullness. So we're going to be in his actual presence, man. So that's going to be a blessed thing for the elect, man. And who knows, man, the Lord might do the crowning ceremony in the chariot. We don't even know, man. But the Lord's going to bless each man, put crowns upon their head. But after a while, we're going to come down and we're going to, go around the earth, enslaving nations, man. The new heaven and the new earth. Because this whole earth is going to be changed, the whole vibration. Like right now, the earth is under a wicked vibration, man. That's why even the earth is crying out, man. The seas and all that raging and roaring. Animals are, beaching themselves. All the pollution and shit in the water. Everything's out of course, man. But when the Lord comes back with the holy angels and the elect, man, everything's going to be put back in order, man. The force is going to be restored,
This is Revelation 15, I'll start from 1. "And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High."
So the elect are going to be in the chariots, and they're going to stand here upon the sea of glass, seeing the ozone layer, basically. And under that ozone layer, they're going to see the whole land of America being, engulfed in flames. The lake of fire. And that's the second death. And they ain't got nothing to do with no little river over there in the land of Bosra. What's the population over there in the land of Bosra, man? Probably in the thousands, man. The hell, how the Lord going to just send 200,000 warheads to just destroy one little land like that? One missile could destroy that whole land, man. We don't need to send 200 different 200,000 warheads, man, or 200 million missiles, as it says, to destroy one little plot of land and one little river over there in the land of Bosnia, man. With a population of like 3,000 plus. No, the Lord's going to destroy a whole city, the city of merchandise, the great city, known as America, Babylon the Great. The 10 parts that we spoke about earlier, man. The 10 part of the city that fell. I was talking about America, man. Look how great that place is, man. Babylon the Great, America. That's a great merchant land, man. And it's always been like that since the inception of that place. As we said earlier, King Solomon used to send his naval teams with Harem Biff and all that out there to get all type of rich merchandise from over there, man. To build up his house and build up the temple. All kinds of precious stones and metals and materials came from that land, because that land's always been what's the word? That land's always been a land of plenty, basically, a land of abundance. You know, they even call it the New Canaan and all that. When the natives and the indigenous tribes went over there, they was dwelling in all that gold, all that silver, all them precious stuff. They was dwelling amongst that, and they was using it to use it in line with the land, man, in balance with the land. It's only until the devils came over there and started, stealing everything from the earth. Now that land is desolate, man, when it comes to resources, man, because Esau's already stolen everything, in those lands, man. But that land was like bountiful, basically. That's what I wanted to say. It was a bountiful place, man, America. All kinds of resources over there, man. So that's that great merchant city. The Lord gonna destroy that whole land. And how much is the population? The 300 millions or whatever? Come on, man, it's a lot of souls that need to get burnt, man. That's a lot of souls that's gonna add fuel to the fire. Fire needs oxygen. That's a lot of souls right there.
340 million, yeah.
There you go, man. 340 million compared to what little Bosra over there in the land of the Middle East. Come on, man. That's why the missiles are going to totally toast that whole land. North America. South America's not going to be affected, but they're going to feel the rumbles and all that. South and Central America, they're going to feel those rumbles, man. Some of those lands might even sink, who knows, man. And bring up new lands. But the whole of North America engulfed in flames. That's what the elect are going to see from the chariots. Through the ozone layer, they're going to see the whole of America on fire, man. That's the lake of fire, man, the second death. That's going to be hell on earth, New Gehenna. Not no fucking pit underneath in Middle Earth with a guy with a pitchfork stabbing people on the spit roaster, talking about you're going to stay here for eternity. Like IUIC teach about hell underneath the earth. There's a place called hell. We're living in fucking hell right now, man, you idiots. Try and break that one down.
Revelation 21:2, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, so the elect are going to come down from the chariots. It's a big fathership that the Lord's going to accompany, man. And he's going to beam up the whole elect in that big chariot, man. It tells you that in the scriptures, man. It was at Revelation 11. Cloud received them out of their sight.
It says, coming down from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Yeah, he was the husband, the Yahweh Shai. He was the bridegroom, the Yahweh Shai, man. And he was the bride, Yasha Allah, Israel, the elect. The 10 virgins, the 5 that are wise and 5 that were foolish. And this whole thing about monogamy and all that shit's going out the window now. Men are starting to realize men are supposed to have more than one. Even the average Jake is saying that now. Monogamy is some, part of that philosophy, once again, philosophy of the fucking West, man. Starting from the damn enemy that got it spiraled up. He came up with and made up. So to put basically, strip the man of his manhood. Because Esau knows that a man's supposed to be able to spread his seed, man, with whoever and whenever he wants, man. As long as that woman's not promised to anyone else, there's nothing wrong with that, man. A man having another wife. And even women are starting to agree with that now. They're like, you know what? If a man has one more than one, they're willing to basically trade off. Yeah. Before there was just like, nah, he's cheating on me. I can't deal with that now, man. Because they're stuck in their ways and their ego and that BS. But now women start to realize that a man can have more than one, and it makes fucking perfect sense.
Back in front, because when you look at even though these celebrities are off, when you look at these celebrity cultures, when a celebrity comes into town, bro, like, and they do a show in Wembley or Tottenham Stadium, wherever the fuck, the O2, you see these women, bro, like, it don't matter whether the man's so-called publicly got a partner or whatever, they're all willing to fuck. They all want to go to the after party, they all want to, because at the end of the day, it's that same spirit, man. You know, like they were saying, Saul kills the thousands, but David the tens of thousands. Like, when you're the man, they don't give a fuck. They'll do what they got to do to get with you, man, because there's that hypergamy within them. They can't help themselves. They want to be with the main guy, man.
And it showed you that. I saw that recently with Chris Brown. He was at a show and all that, and then it showed him going from the show to the club, and from the club to the hotel, and he had a whole harem of bitches, man. That came off the outside of the car, and they all went to into the hotel with him. What do you think they was doing? Just chilling, eating tea and coffee. He's beating whoever he wanted to beat, and they didn't have a problem with it, man. Well, I'm sure some of them had boyfriends, so there was someone on some adulterous shit. But that's what happens when you're a celeb, man. You get the pick of the litter, man. You shouldn't be just that like stripped down to this one woman, and that's it. You can't deal with another woman because the white man told you can't deal with her. Man, fuck, in the ancient world, a man had harems of bitches, man. King Solomon had 1,000 wives, man. What are you talking about, man? He wasn't wicked. Was he wicked because he had 1,000 wives? No. Yeah. King David had how many wives, man? Abraham had how many wives, man? What the hell are you talking about, man? That's something the white man came up with, man. This monogamy bullshit. It's about the Bible. Where are you from?
I'm Kurdistan.
No, country there, like your lineage, like heritage.
English. My mum's Jewish, Lithuanian.
But where's your father from?
England.
Yeah, but you sound like one of our people. Yeah. You sound like a Jake. You know our people ruled doing something the dark.
My mum's Lithuanian, is very Jewish.
Yeah, but she could be a Jake as well. Who knows? She's not religious. She could be a Jake as well, because our people scattered. Basically, it's son of Jacob, one of the 12 tribes. Because basically, what I was trying to tell you is during the Dark Ages, you know about different kings of Europe and all that.
King
Germany.
Solomon and all that.
No, that was Israel. But I mean, during the Dark Ages, Middle Ages, when they had all the Crusades and stuff of that nature, all those kings came from these people, man. The kings of England, King James the First, he was an Israelite, man. You know, King.
What's the connection between Israel and Israelites like this?
Well, not the Israel.
Is it from Judaism? Is it from
No. The Israelis that are over there in the land today, they're converts, as they even come out and tell you themselves. If you check the history, some of them scholars tell you they come from the land of Ashkenaz, the Ashkenazi.
My aunt is an Ashkenazi Jew.
So they inherited, they converted to the land of Israel, but they're not the original inhabitants of that land. There's a certain thing.
My uncle is Sephardi Jew.
Sephardics go back to our people. Sephardics go back to these people here. Because we've mixed up. So you can't
half Sephardi, half.
She's an Israelite. She's probably a Jake, man. She's probably an Israelite.
Man.
You're an Israelite, man. Yeah, man. Check out the history. Check out the Russian icons, man. Russian icons. Yeah? Because that's what it is. If Jake, check out the Russian icons. You'll see that Jake was ruling throughout the European Dark Ages, Middle Ages, and he sound like one of our people, man. You can tell his spirit. It reminds me of a lot of white Jakes that we know, man.
What's all this about?
Sound like a geezer, innit? Sound like one of them Cockneys, you know what I'm saying? And when he said his mum was Jewish, but he said his mum's Sephardic Jew. Now, he could have said she was Jewish like the Israeli, but he said Sephardic. And the Sephardics we know come from these people on the side, man. So he's an Israelite, man. And his father's English. I know his father's probably, goes back to one of them Dark Ages kings or whatever, one of King James or one of them kings, man. The names was on my mind, but it kept skipping me, man.
100%. And that's what these elites, they fear, man, because the elites, they know this
King Charles II and all that, Black Boy, all these different kings, man. Come on, man. King George, Lionheart, all these kings, man. They were all Israelites, man. Esau knows this. That's why even Putin brought out the relics, man. He opened the vaults and said, look, man, the original kings of Europe were all black. Look at all these Russian icons of black people with, crowns and, living royal, regal, nobles of our people, Queen Charlotte, Sophia and all that. Bro, she's on the cover of Nature Knows No Color Line, that book. That's Queen Charlotte Sophia. They even made a program about her called Bridget, which is like a #1 program on Netflix, man. And there was another program I was watching recently. It was called Washington George Black, whatever it was called. Basically focusing on the Jakes over there in America that was trying to get themselves free. And he became like one of them. I'm not sure it's true or not. He was basically one of them engineers to basically try and create the first movements of flight. You know, try to create the first, the balloon, yeah, hot air balloon type planes and that. It was a Jake aviation. It was created by Jake basically, but then there was Edomites involved in it. But he was trying to be a top scientist. Not sure how authentic it was in the books or true, but they're showing you that Jake are the original inventors, man, and that Esau always used Jake to help them, whether it was in science or whatever, to build shit or create stuff. Because the scripture says that Jacob is the form of Jake is not like them, man. Yeah. We're the creators of every. When it comes to innovation, we're the salt of the earth. When it comes to innovation and creating things, that's Jake, man. That's Israelites, man. We're the ones that create. Esau's the one that steals inventions, man.
Yeah, if I could say, Jake are unorthodox. They will take things that ain't even really meant to logically work together and somehow just create something out of nothing. Like you had George Foreman, for example, and all of his creations. But when you look at what he was actually known for in terms of fighting, you would have never thought that a boxer could create those kind of feats, basically achieve those type of feats, man. But Jake is the former of all things, even when it comes to sports, bro. And then, like, when you look at something like basketball, Jake used to run around and play it like volleyball until Jake just started dunking and doing all sorts of reverse windmills and through the legs and all of that. They even banned dunking at one point because Jake was just dominating the shit. But like, Jake will take a sport and then make it something else. Like, look at football, bro, like what it is now. Yeah.
Well, the Esau has to implement all these different rules to try and manage what Jake's doing because he can't keep up.
Yeah,
what was it, like the free throw line and stuff like that? They had to like move certain rules around because Jake was just getting the advantages, man. You know, I'm sure there's even more history, on that and stuff. But like brother was saying, that's why the scripture says, "Thou art a holy people, man, above all the nations." Jake is something else, man. He's above all. He's a top shelf.
That's right.
I got a precept. Quick one. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Yeah, that's it. It says, as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
That made me think of Bane, rather than Batman. The corrupt. This is from the decadent nest. Because that's what you need in this society, bro. Because really and truly, like, we're gonna have these nations under lock, key, and barrel, but they're gonna be happy. They're gonna be happy to be serving under the Israelites. Scripture says that even when Esau goes down, even the trees of Lebanon are gonna rejoice, saying, "Since thou art fallen, no fellow has come up against us." You gotta understand that nature in itself is gonna be bliss when Esau even goes down. The birds are gonna sing. Everything is gonna be rejoicing, including these heathen, man. But you got it to where right now everybody is just fucking suffering, bro, because of corruption under these devils, to the point where even Edomites are suffering, man. You got two-time losers amongst the Edomites right now that are going to be born into captivity, and they're going through hell in their own kingdom because their elites just don't give a shit. And that's why when we get the chance to get our hands on these devils, man, in the words of Apostle Sahar, man, the Most High might have to send crackers from outer space, bro, because they're going to just get fucked up.
Yeah, we're gonna get loose, man. We're gonna get loose, man. We're gonna excel. We're gonna have, we're gonna basically take our anger out, man. We've got a lot of bent up anger and frustration for 400, 500 years, man. Generational anger that we've had held in for what this devil's done to us, and he hasn't paid for an ounce for it yet. So when that time comes, man, we're gonna come on, man. And brothers get that spiritual power as well.
Oh, bro.
Come on, man. And that's another example as well of brothers being allowed to deal with more than one woman. In a new Superman movie, that's what they were trying to basically demonize Superman for, man, Kal-El. Because he had a harem, or his parents told him to basically take over the whole earth and replicate yourself, and have your own harem. And he got demonized in the media for it. They wanted to put him in jail for it, man. Because they found out what his true purpose was, so to speak, and that he's supposed to have his own harem, showing you that a man's supposed to have more than one woman, man. And that's basically the birthright of an Israelite. Any man really in general is supposed to have more than one wife, but really that's our birthright because that's part of our customs, man. As I said, our forefathers, they are forefathers, not those American devils. They dealt with more than one woman. Going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. They all dealt with more than Isaac didn't deal with more than one. But Abraham had more than one wife. Jacob definitely had more than one wife. He had 4. You know, and on down the line, King David, King Solomon. Come on, man. We were known for having polygamous relationships, man. Polygamy was a thing back in the ancient world. You know, but they frown upon it now because Esau doesn't want the man to be manly, basically. He doesn't want a man to be in order, man. Basically, have his house in order. He wants it to be disrupted, to be you know, out in chaos. That's why he put the leadership, put the nigger woman in the leadership role and get the man kicked out of the house. Because you got a lot of single parent mothers out here raising these little monsters, you know, and they all end up in the fucking system, man. All these, no coincidence that all these niggas in jail all come out of single parent households, man. Namely from the mother. Because if it was raised by a single parent father, a lot of these men would still be so-called, they wouldn't be tied up to the system like that. You know? They wouldn't be tied up to the system. It's like Trey and fucking Boys in the Hood. He was raised up by his father instead of his mother. You know, Lawrence Fishburne and all that. He was telling him about gentrification and all that. What happened to Ricky? Ricky got smoked because he was raised up by a single parent mother, man. Had bare kids in the house, all plastic all over the fucking, the couches and shit. Man bleeding all over the couch and the plastic couch. The old boy was a nigger. Daughter had her daughter had another daughter.
That's another thing, son.
You know, little baby and all that.
Yeah.
What's that mean with Tyrese and Snoop?
Babe, was it?
Baby boy was it?
Baby boy.
That type of shit going on, man.
Fuck.
Bare hood test tube, crack babies and all that shit going on. That's hell, man. That's what happens when you're raised up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
But when you got the father raising you, he's gonna give you ethics. He's gonna teach you discipline, man.
Yeah.
Just like 2 different versions of fighting. With this whole Usyk and Dubois, man. Dubois is a fucking clown. That guy is a boy in a man's body, man. That guy is a child in a man's body. I don't care what anyone says, man. That guy having a party right before the fucking fight, man. What kind of warrior are you? That ain't no warrior mindset. And just before that fight happened, you see the video of Usyk talking about discipline, bro. They said discipline is better than, what was it? Discipline is better than motivation. He said, yeah, you can have motivation, you can be motivated to do this, motivated to do that. But after a while, motivation disappears. But discipline keeps you on the ball.
Yeah.
Discipline keeps you going. That's what he was talking about, being disciplined.
Yeah.
What did Dubois do? Have a fucking party. Before the fucking fight was even started. Before you even get to celebrate your win, you're having a party, man. What kind of idiot are you,
I thought
man?
we won before it even started.
And it's not for just any belts as well. This is the fucking unification of the what was it called? What was it called?
I want to look it up, so I can't remember. I'll look it up. But yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right. Even Mike Tyson had that quote. He said, "Discipline is doing what you hate to do sometimes."
Yeah, Tyson would fuck around. Tyson would fuck around and all that, especially in his latter years. But in his early years, he was more disciplined under his original coach. You know, he was more disciplined. That's why he became the youngest champion, man. You know, because he was disciplined. He was a beast, and he stuck to what his coach told him to do before he passed.
It was an IBF heavyweight title.
No, but what they call it, the undisputed, right?
Yeah, undisputed.
Yeah, so you're fighting for a title of an undisputed fight, and you're gonna do some dumb shit like that. It's not like you're just fighting for one belt or some shit like that, or you're just fighting some mandatory fighter, and for a chance to fight for the belt. You're actually fighting for the undisputed, and this guy's been 2-time undisputed. You're struggling just to get to that one, and you're gonna you're gonna fuck up your opportunity like that because you wanted to have a party. Your daddy, I'm gonna beat you like your daddy. That guy. This guy's he's got mental issues, man. That guy's not supposed to be in there. He's a child in a man's body, man. That guy's not a real a boxer like that, man. This guy's he's not a warrior. He hasn't got a warrior mindset. That's why he lost, man. And he always gives up. He always gives up, man. As soon as he gets knocked down and gets a jab in the eye, he gives up. That's not a warrior mindset, man. The first fight, he knocked your ass out with a jab. Second fight, you just gave up, man. You didn't want to take no more punishment. You already knew what was going to come next. You floored your ass quick with the left overhand. Took the belt, took your opportunity from you, and that shows you the 2 different mindsets: a warrior mindset and a nigga of the world's mindset, man. I forgot what I was comparing it to.
Basically, that's a man and a child's mindset mentality, innit? Like the
So I was
child.
comparing it to something I was talking about. Not
Yeah,
the
right.
topic, basically. The topic.
Right.
But anyway, that shows you, man. Jake, man. A lot of Jakes ain't cut out for certain things, man. They're not cut out for certain things. They like to foil their opportunities as well. You know, but that when I saw that, man, that shit was just like diabolical. Everyone's cursing this guy out. How can you do that, man, for something that on that level? Like you don't
Yeah.
take nothing serious.
Don't take none. Hey, well, Jake, bro, remember when Jamaica got hit by a natural disaster? Them niggas was having a party whilst the country was getting hit
Oh
by
yeah,
a
yeah,
storm.
with the storm, yeah.
What in the
Niggas
house
are
and
stupid.
shit.
Sort children, man.
Bro,
Sort children, man. The Lord was not lying when he said Jacob foolish as all hell,
what?
man. Jake could be stupid as all hell, man.
Any excuse, bro, for a party, bro.
That is dumb as hell. Now, after, what are you gonna do after the thing now? You lost, you got knocked down, you look all stupid. Now no one's gonna celebrate with you. No one's coming. All them 70 souls that came with you, they all just disappeared into thin air, man. Now they don't even want to be associated with you because you just ruined the opportunity. You threw it down the toilet drain.
Yeah, bro.
Listening to your dad instead of your coach.
Yeah.
Total embarrassment, man. But that's Jake. Jake do stupid shit. Don't think their way through things, man.
Real shit. And that's
Any
why
man with a disciplined mindset would have known, I'm not having a fucking party right now. That's not the mindset I need to be in. I need to get ready for this fight so I don't make sure I don't lose.
yeah, the vibration, bro.
You're doing that, then you're late to the fight as well. Hours before, you're late. Same thing with Joshua, he was late. And then he ended up losing the fight.
Yeah, just so trying to be a model, man.
These guys just don't learn, man. That's why, you know, guys like Usyk, man, they're showing you the way.
That's right.
Now he's 3-time undisputed. And he deserves it, man, because he put in the work. And he's disciplined, man.
Yeah, man.
Showing you the mindset of a real, like men in the truth. Like, you're supposed to be stoic, man. He's disciplined. You got a lot of jakes. Like, basically, you got men of the Lord, like Apostle or the Gabar, Tahar, or the Gabar, or the Rakar, or the Rhyme. Those men showing you the stoic mindset. And then you got guys like Bishop Nate and Alazar, Epicurean type spirits,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I like to hear that freaky stuff. And all that. That's what Nate's saying. He likes to hear that freaky stuff. And then you got Alazar actually partaking in some mad behaviors, man. Sticking pegs and shit up his ass. That's the Epicurean spirit. That's two different mindsets, man. And we're gonna see who's gonna make it. Those guys that, you know, in that Epicurean lifestyle type spirit, they don't make it, man. You gotta be stoic, man. You gotta have discipline. The Lord said be temperate in all things, have balance, man. Yeah, you can partake in certain things, but don't be too over righteous, don't be too over wicked, man. Have balance, man.
Using the ball.
Brothers have downtime. Brothers deal with harlots and all that, but we're not gonna do oversaturating, overdo things, overindulge. That's it. Be superfluous, man.
Right.
Don't overindulge, man. Doing too much. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 24:13. It says, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved."
And that's it at the end of the day, man. And that's what we're hoping for. That's what brothers always praying about, enduring it to the end. That's why we're always putting up prayers day in, day out, man, day and night. And if you're a true man of the Lord, this is all you really think about, man. When you're even sitting down in your house, you're watching TV, or you see something happening outside your household, and looking through the window, you see people arguing. All you're thinking about is scriptures in your head. Scriptures in your head should just be popping up straight away. Our life revolves around the scriptures, man, and vice versa. Our life doesn't revolve around this world no more. That's what Romans 12:1 talks about. The renewing of your mind, being transformed, man. The renewing of your mind. Because when you come into this truth, your whole mindset is supposed to change, man. You look at, basically you got the eye salve, and like my man Roddy Rowdy Piper. They live. You got the glasses on, that spiritual eye salve, and you can see everything for what it is. So you can't fall asleep, man. You can't go back into the world, man. You'd be an idiot to go back into the world after you've seen all the truth. You've seen all the signs, obey and all that slave. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back into the world. You've seen too much. You see it for everything for what it really is. The demons know who you are now, man. They're trying to get you out of it. Just like Constantine, man. Once you enlighten to that world, you said it, man. Once you get into that side, the demons are on you. You can't hide no more because the demons know that you know. So they're gonna be onto you more. So you don't want to go back into that world, man. You go back into that world, you're done. Then you're gonna have 7 more demons jumping on your asses, man. That's stronger than the first one that left your ass. 7 more harder. That's what Alize is dealing with right now. He had that one demon, that lustful demon, that he had before he came in the truth. with all this, getting into that metrosexual pegmaster shit. And then he left the truth. He said he's hanging up his got a coat, so to speak. He's hanging up his garment. He wants to go back into the world. Now he's got 7 other stronger demons than that one demon he had before, man. So he's totally gone now. You might see him doing the OnlyFans and all that next, man. That guy's gone, man.
Crazy.
That guy might open the OnlyFans account, man. You know? Real talk, man. That guy's totally gone. He can't come back into the truth. The Lord's totally rejected that guy. The Spirit's rejected because he wasn't in this truth for, he wasn't in this truth honestly anyway, man. He was fronting, man. When he was repenting all them times about the strip club and all these different things, he wasn't really sorrowful for that.
No.
He was just sorry that he got caught. Just like when he got caught being the peg master, he was sorry that he got caught. He weren't crying in the video. He weren't crying because he really felt bad for what he was doing. Because he just came out and said it in the video. I want to be free. I want to live my life. So that means you enjoyed what he was doing, man. You ain't repentful. You want to be a faggot.
Yeah, if I can say that all shows you as well. He was a brilliant actor, a devil, man. That guy was sat there trying to convince people that he was the high priest of Israel.
Niggas was saying we're gonna give money and do a Sabbath for him.
Yeah. Yo.
Show you how wicked niggas are. That's why Lord gonna kill the majority of you Jakes.
100%.
You're on that Barabbas type spirit, man.
Bro, that's crazy. He said, yeah, I wish I gotta wait outside the temple. I gotta go in there and convene with the Lord and make sure it's set right before I go and let the Lord.
So basically, the Lord's gonna come and bow before you. You don't have to bow to it. He said that we don't have to worship Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
He was strictly permitted that. He said look, man, we don't have to worship Yahweh Shai.
Crazy.
That's man worship. What do you mean?
Crazy.
Of course we have to worship Yahweh Shai. He's our Lord and Savior.
Well, the angels cast
Even the angels cast their crowns down. 24 elders. The angels bow down before the Lord. So how can we not bow down? But we're less than that. What the hell are you talking about, man?
Yeah, man.
This is the Lord we're talking about as well.
Talking about Apostle Paul's letters, they're not
So
canon
what,
and that. When Apostle Paul was taught directly by the Lord, man, God was dealing with it. But apparently his letters now are no, we can't deal with
Because
that.
he was against the Greeks. He was against you niggas like you with the long hair, wearing fucking hats all the damn time, covering your boat because you got a fucking baldy on the top of your head. You wanted to cover that shit for the ladies, for the galleys. And you wanted to wear these undergarment t-shirts and just look all fancy and all that. Because you're just a nigga of the world, man. That's basically what it was. So you be a nigga of the world. Why even come into this truth if that's all you wanted to be? You can't mix the two. So you weren't living honest, you weren't being honest, man. You was teaching this word deceitfully.
Yeah.
Lord said, woe unto you that teach this word deceitfully.
In times past, he was probably one of the men that the Apostle Paul called Satan upon, man.
Yeah, man. Alexander and all that.
Yeah, 100%.
No, he was definitely one of them wicked scribes and Pharisees, man. Because he was totally against this truth, man. And he was against Yahweh Shai. So those same wicked scribes and Pharisees, they was around Yahweh Shai and they was trying to confound him, man. And he was definitely against his men.
Well,
They put him in jail.
Yeah,
If he had the opportunity, Alazar, he would put us in jail, man. He would put the apostles in jail.
Yeah.
Because he was talking shit
Bro.
about Apostle Tahar, Elder Tahar and all that. He was just talking to them like the average men,
Still calling them niggas like
calling them niggas and all that. They're
Yeah.
not going to kill that guy, man.
Bro, that guy said Apostle Tahar should retire and the Lord retired his ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a
Surely
show.
he had no ounce of respect for his elders, man. No ounce of respect. All that shit was just coming out of his mouth was just foaming, man. You know? He had no respect. He's disobedient to parents. He's a liar. He's an extortioner. He's extorting his own people. You know, he's making money. Talking about he's a life coach. All these different things that he was selling.
Like, he was selling super
Bare
super
t-shirts,
chats.
Hebrew gorilla t-shirts, all this shit that he was selling. He's just basically a pimp, man. Trying to pimp out his own people
Yeah.
through this doctrine, man. That's why the Lord got you out of there, man, because you're a demon. And then you weren't right in the spirit anyway to be the top Levite priest. You ain't in the spirit, man. You ain't in the spirit of being a Levite priest, man. You're all fucked up in the head, man. You call yourself Mr. Delirious, man. A guy that suffers from delirium, man. So you're always constantly confused. Now we know why, because you like to stick pegs up your ass, man. That's why you suffer from delirium.
You were speaking about the warrior mentality, man, as well.
Yeah.
So that's why, in this truth, endurance is, key importance, man, because that means to be made hard. Because you're going through trials, highs and lows, but you still keep, moving forward, man. You still keep having faith in the Lord, man. Still keep praying.
And not every man can endure unto the end, basically. Not every man can go through all the trials and tribulations that they have to. That's basically what it is. There's a lot of guys coming to this Israelite thing and they just want to be pampered and they want to act like they've made it into the kingdom already, man. They don't want to suffer. So basically, they ain't got no patience. They're impatient, basically. But in this truth, when you come into this truth, the Lord said, prepare yourself for diverse temptations. And you got to suffer, man. You got to be patient, man. You know? Which means to suffer. You're going to catch hell in high waters, man. But you always got to, as the brother said, persevere, pray to the Lord to endeavor, man. And he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. That means that a lot of men are not cut out for this, man. Many are called. Alazar was called, but he's not the chosen, basically. Many are called, but few are chosen, man. Alazar was one of them. He's a basic example of that. He was called into this faith for how many other years? Even but when he got kicked out of Great Millstone, he should have just hung it up from them, because he was really not the spirit was really gone from him from then. And when he got kicked out of Great Millstone, man, the spirit wasn't really with him anymore. He was just fronting, man, until he just finally got exposed for what he truly about. So that's where it is, man. Many are called, but few are chosen, man. He's not of the chosen. There's going to be many more Alazars and many more guys like the IUIC cats getting caught out there and put on blast, man.
Romans chapter
ICPK, they exempt either. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12 and 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bar Hashem Yahweh Shai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
She's got tears, bro. See what I'm saying, man? Eve, man. That's why we don't need the nigger woman, man. We don't need the nigger woman, man. She can go, man. Esau can have her, man. She can go. We got plenty of other women we can, trade off and bring back the nation with. We don't need a nigger woman, man. She's an enemy of the state. She's an enemy of the Israelite man. This is a pure example of that. And she's even got the Edomite pushing the buggy. Crazy, man. But this just shows you that the nigger woman's never been with us, man. Since slavery, basically, the nigger woman's never been ours ever again. She's been a bedwench of the master, man. Master's girl. She still is to this day. She's quick to run to Esau, but she'll turn against the man with a heartbeat. She a demon. Fuck her, man. Fuck Eve, man. More guys, obviously the glory of a man is in his woman, but we don't need a nigger woman, man. Don't get emotional. Just deal with it, man. There's plenty of other women out here, man, to bring back the nations. Naomi, she was a Moabite. What Moabite? Ruth was it? Ruth was not Naomi. Yeah. Was a Moabite. She brought back the royal. Through her line. She brought the king, King David. Yeah. King Solomon came out of that line from a damn Moabite woman, man. But it's from the loins of a man. Boaz, was it Boaz? It's from the loins of an Israelite, man. So it's about the man's seed. It's not about the woman, man.
That's right. You can look at Ephraim and Manasseh come out of an Egyptian.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Egyptian Pharaoh's daughter. Joseph planted the seed in her. And Pharaoh was happy to give his daughter up as well, because obviously Joseph was that guy. So he was happy to give her up for Joseph to marry, and he planted 2 seeds out of that. Showing you that the man is the prize, man. The woman is not the prize, man. You women got lied to over here again. Once again, as part of the whole Western philosophy of wickedness about the woman is the prize. All this BS, man. The man is the prize. The man is the one that carries the seed in his semen.
Facts.
Bro, the word for semen in the Greek is sperma, man.
Even in Moab land, bro, when they went through a period where they were killing daughters because...
But the Greek word for seed is sperma.
In Moab land, they went through a period where they were killing their female daughters, if the family realized through test they were gonna have a daughter, they would have bought the daughter and try again for a boy child, because they know that a man even though it's wicked, but they know that a man carries the seed line. And then in China they have that one child rule for a period of time,
That's why they always get rid of, anytime he was going to war with a nation, what did they do? They got rid of the men, and they usually, the male children, either they put them into slavery, cut off their rods, castrate them, or they just kill them, genocide them, man. Why? Because they hold the seed of that lineage, man.
Facts.
If you don't cut them all off, they're going to repopulate.
Facts. Look at Benjamin in the scriptures, bro.
Yeah, little Benjamin, man.
Yeah.
Benjamin was nearly extinct until the Lord had mercy.
Yeah, exactly.
Broke that covenant, and then he was able to mingle with the other tribes and bring back Benjamin. But Benjamin was little at one point, meaning there was nearly next to nothing, man. The Lord's gonna, they would have ended up like the tribe of Dan if the Lord didn't have mercy, man. When they'd been non-existent. But the Lord had mercy because he got brothers that are part from the tribe of Benjamin here today. Apostle Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. He wouldn't have been born if the right tribe of Benjamin was gone. He would have had to come through a different line. So this is important, man. Seed, the man's seed is very important, man. He holds the seed of life, basically. The creation of life. The royal oats, man. Yeah, sow your royal oats. King Jaffa said to, Hakim, spread your seed, basically. Sow your royal oats. There's nothing wrong with that, man. We're going to go back to that. Even before the kingdom, Isaiah 4 and 1, a lot of these men are going to come on their knees, man. And the first thing they're going to do is bow down and take the rod, man. Because they want to escape that reproach of not having children and basically, being an old maid. And they want to be delivered. So the woman shall be saved through childbearing, man. So we don't need a nigger woman. We could save Edomite women, a Moabite woman, all of that shit. And bring back the seed, man.
That's right, because even Dinah was the brother or sister of the 12 patriarchs, but there's no tribe of Dinah because the women don't carry no seed.
Yeah, and you had that Hamite rape her.
And they got mad, rightfully so.
And Simeon and Levi took his head off.
Yeah, so yeah,
Killed that nigga.
Even that fucking Stephen Hammer.
Yeah, because that's you're gonna bring forth tears, man. Amongst the weak. Couldn't have that.
Well, there's even that scripture, I forget where it was, where the children forgot the language and the prophet started cursing them out, man, because the children started learning the Hebrew language rather than
Hebrew.
Yeah, the Hebrew.
You have to word search that. Got something?
Yeah, I got a bit more.
Yeah.
It says, by the mercies of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Yeah, this is our reasonable service, man. And we're going to be greatly rewarded for this, man. This ain't like a light thing, but this is going to be a service, a labor of love that the Lord's going to greatly commend those men that stood stiffly, man. The reward that you're going to get for, just doing this work alone. You're going to wish that you suffered more, man, You're going to be like, what, I gained all this just for doing this work, man? You're going to wish that you suffered more torment from the Lord, man. Because basically the light affliction that we have to suffer on this side is basically going to be enough, suffice for us to make it into the Lord's kingdom. But really when we get into the kingdom, and the way the Lord's going to reward you for your works, you're going to be like, nah, man, I didn't do enough. You're really going to feel like you didn't do enough, man. But that's the reward that the Lord shows you, that he's a man of his word, man. And he's not even just going to reward you a little, he's going to reward you abundantly like he did for King Solomon.
Greatly.
He's going to give you great things, man, and you're just going to be reaping for eternity to come. Like you're never going to go through a day of like poorness or, sorrow or none of that. You're never going to, feel pain ever again. You're never going to see death ever again. In your line, in your family, or by yourself, you're never going to taste of that. That sting of death is going to be gone. All you're going to be doing is reaping blessing upon blessing, man. You're going to have plenty of slaves, plenty of, cattle, plenty of offspring, plenty of women. More than your hearts could desire, man. The Lord's going to give you everything, man. Your heart's desire and more. So that's the reward you're going to reap for doing this work, man. That's why, we just got to, like the brother was saying, we just got to endure. And it's only for a little time as well, man. This place is on its way out. You can see it. This place is done now. Early thousands, you was saying that, this place is done. But now we're really in it. Like, you can see the finish line, man. You can see that this place is totally done. The Lord's about to cook this place, man. It's already cooked spiritually and morally. The Lord's about to cook it physically with that nuclear fire, man. Just toast this whole bitch, man. There's nothing left. After the MOT to the B, that's it, man. Missiles. Then Yahweh Shai comes, man. This place is done. We're literally at the end of the world, man. The end of Esau's world.
That's right.
This is what all of the prophets of old desired to see this day. Showing you that reincarnation exists as well, because they're here now. In their lot, whoever they are. They're in the specific lots. And they're going to, waiting for the Lord to come back. To destroy these people, man. It's going to happen in their lifetime. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, don't be conformed to this world, all that alphabetisms, all the wicked philosophies of this world, man. Women usurping authority over the men. And don't fall for that isms and schisms, man, all the feminism and all that BS. Because the Lord gonna toast this place, man. The fashion of this world's gonna pass away. That was just like a blimp in history, man. Women being liberated and all this BS, having power over the man. That's like a nightmare. It's gonna just dissipate when a nuclear fire hits, man. It's all short-lived. All this shit is short-lived, man. This ain't gonna be forever.
This is Jeremiah.
Be not conformed. Meaning you gotta change your mindset, man. Have that stoic mindset. Be more scholarly. You know, don't be like don't be loose balling, being an Epicurean and it's all about pleasures like that, like he was in the world. Because that's what we was doing in the world. We was just bare Epicurean, you know, trying to, fulfill the lust of the flesh every weekend, trying to look for gyal and all. That's all Jake was all about, trying to get money by any means necessary, look for gyal. That's worldly though. When you come into this truth, you change your whole mindset, man. Yeah, you gotta hustle and all that, get your daily bread, but first thing in your mind is these scriptures, bro. You ain't thinking about no fucking chick, you know? There's got all kind of STIs and shit. It's trying to poison your mind, get you off the path. You ain't thinking about no damn harlots, man. You're thinking about how you're gonna endure in this truth. You're thinking about Yahweh Shai coming to deliver us, man. Because we need deliverance. Right?
This is Jeremiah chapter 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of...
One second. Like it says in the book of Sirach, man. The true prophet of the Lord is supposed to meditate upon these prophecies. That's what a true prophet does. That's the part of the renewing of your mind, not conforming to this world. He said that, Sirach 38, your heart shall be meditating prophecies, man. You know? And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Because these prophecies are going to come to pass whether you like it or not. You know? We don't want to get caught out there by the element of surprise when the Lord comes like as a thief in the night. Because we know better, so we should do better, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is the world that crucified Yahweh Shai. So at the end of the day, like there's many anti-Mashiachs in this place. They're all really against the Lord. They hate righteousness. They want this wickedness to continue forever, and they're gonna fight against it hard, especially for those who we get towards this place evidently being destroyed. Hence why you gotta just be really persuaded in your own mind, because we're all gonna go through real serious tests, man.
Well, one of them anti-messiahs just exposed himself last week. He said he's going to hang up his gloves. He said he doesn't want to do the work no more. In that same chapter, it says that in 2 John. It tells you about there's going to be many anti-messiahs, meaning there's more than one. Anyone that's against this truth, against the Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, against this, the men of the Lord, they're basically a bunch of anti-messiahs, man. Antichrist, as they call it. And then it tells you that you have false brethren that was amongst you, and they went out from us because there was not of us. So those men are anti-Messiah as well. So Alazar is an anti-Yahweh Shai. He used to scream the name, he used to say the name back in the day, but you can't say the names no more. He was really against Yahweh Yahweh Shai. He's an enemy of the cross.
As the scripture says, he that gathereth not, scattereth.
Yeah.
So if you're not for the truth, then you're against it.
Yeah. And you got to have the names as well.
Yeah.
You got IUIC teaching that we don't have the name. They're basically pushing the anti-Messiah teaching, man, doctrine. Because if we ain't got the name, then how are we going to be saved? Who's coming to save us, man?
Yeah.
How are we going to be saved? How are we going to call upon the name of the Lord in the time of Jacob's trouble if we ain't got the Hebrew and we don't know the Lord's name? Who's going to come to save us? Jesus the Christ. That's probably who's going to come and save you. That's who you're hoping and blessing and prayers in. But we don't trust in this another Messiah. We trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai of the scriptures, man. We don't put no false hope in another Messiah, man, like you guys do. Go ahead.
It says, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
This is a great kingdom of war, and look how much money they put into into weaponry. Look, if you even look into the cost of maintaining one jet alone, or even the bombs that they drop, like literally one of those Scud missiles itself was like, even though they're shitty versions of the weapons that nowadays are a couple hundred thousands, like literally, bro, that's a cost of like more than the cost of your house, bro. Like, to be honest with you, and that's one missile, bro. This is a great kingdom, or even this little island that we're on right here, Great Britain, bro. They used to rule. They used to have the same Britannia rules the ways, bro. The East India Company and that came from here. And it was a company strong enough with its own private army that they toppled the government of India and literally looted them for years. Like that Lord is gonna make a great example out of Esau because he's taken his best in the sword and he's really gone hard with it, man.
That's why they're known as the Lords of War.
And I was gonna say, even like, look at America's history. It was like what out of like 200 and like 23 years, like or of them being around. Basically they've been at war more times than they've been at peace. Obviously, and even scriptures say about America being the hammer of the whole earth, man. Yeah. They're the ones with the most militaries, bases, and like dropping all these bombs
and beyond bombs, they got weather weaponry. They can like laser
manipulate the weather.
Manipulate the weather. Like they even got these fucking little bugs that like mechanical bugs that are actual like spy drones and shit that they like. It's crazy.
You see them drone displays in China?
Yeah.
Showing you actual like moving like animes and shit.
That's mad.
They got that's what the Chinese are doing. That's how advanced the technology has got over there in China, where they got actual like cartoon. They can show you like a cartoon in the fucking sky, just through drones. These little fucking cameras, all like thousands of cameras moving all at one time, and they can actually show you movement like a cartoon, like you used to do sketches and all that. Anyway, they can actually show you movement. You can show like you're watching a movie in the sky, like a hologram basically. And that's what they're gonna do. That the Project Bluebeam and all that, because they actually showed one, and it was like a warrior, moving, swinging his sword,
right.
And it was a drone display. But he was swinging it so efficiently. It don't look like drones. It just looks like a big ass hologram, a glass hologram in the sky. It looks like kind of angelic. But that's what Esau's gonna use that in these last days to do some obvious like Project Bluebeam type shit to try and cast some more spells on the people to make them think that that's the Lord. And a lot of people gonna fall for that as well. With the holograms and the doppelganger type images that Esau's gonna drop out there. Because these people are none the wiser. They don't understand that the enemy's always plotting. But the men of the Lord, Scripture says we're not wiser. We're wiser than 2 Corinthians 2:11. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, can't. So we're not going to fall for the tricks, the wiles of the devil. That's why you got to have the armor on, man. Because we know if Esau comes with like chariot display, we already know what the chariots look like and how they maneuver in the sky. So when Esau does it, it's going to be evident to us that that's some Project Bluebeam type shit, man. But Esau's going to try and make it look so fucking miraculous that people are actually going to believe that they're seeing that actual chariot. Or, those are the real chariots, man, the angels. Because Esau's got that in his part of his agenda as well. Some UFO invasion and all that. But it is going to be a chariot invasion. There's not going to be no alien invasion. It's going to be an Israelite invasion with the Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai and the holy angels. And we're going to know in that time when the Lord actually returns that that's the Lord and not no fucking Project Bluebeam. Because the Lord's going to, the angels are going to come out with a shout.
This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, man, Esau's got many devices that he uses to bamboozle and beguile the people into falling for his tricks. One of them was made like nuclear weaponry and that power, man. Because that's how he used it to basically deceive all the nations. Talks about in the book of Revelation, man. Forced miracles, he was able to deceive the nations with that power of the bomb, the atomic weapons from Oppenheimer. And now everything's gone nuclear. He was also using it to fearmonger and put these other nations in fear. But now all these other nations, even smaller nations, are, the weak are saying they're strong now, man. Iran, all these different smaller nations that weren't prolific in the ancient, or not ancient, but weren't prolific in times past. Now they got nuclear capabilities. That's threatening the West. That's got them on their high toes, so to speak. got them on their high heels, you know, very defensive. That's why Trump doesn't want to go to war with Iran, because he knows that's going to be the last invasion they're ever going to be able to take part in.
Yeah.
Because once they fuck around with Iran, they know it's not Iran, just Iran they're dealing with. They're dealing with Iran's allies, man, which is the BRIC nations, mainly of Russia and China. And America can't deal with that, man, alone. But they're going to do it anyway. They're going to be forced to deal with it, because mainly because of these Israeli cats, these gutter rats, going to drag them into that war because they're part of the NATO. And then also because the Lord is to fulfill the will of the Lord. It's to fulfill the will of the Lord. The Lord says he's going to gather all the nations that he may pour upon them his indignation, man. So Trump ain't got a choice. Whoever's in office at that time hasn't got a choice in the matter of whether they're going to partake in World War III or avoid it. World War III is inevitable. It's just when. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. It's not a matter of how and all that. It's just a matter. It is a matter of how. It's a matter of when. Not if.
Even the elites have written about the third world, free world war.
Yeah, but Albert Pike is.
Yeah.
It's inevitable, man. It's in the scriptures. And that's part of Esau's judgment anyway. He has to go into World War III so the Lord can destroy it.
Right.
That's the only way we're going to get out of it, man. So whether they like it or lump it, they're going to partake in it anyway. It's just that they're probably not going to be the antagonists. At least the flock's going to draw them out. But they're going to deal with the backdraft of it, as I said earlier. Mm-hmm. They're going to deal with the bigger impact of it. And once they're destroyed, man, that's when the world's going to be at peace, man. Trust and believe. This earth is going to be able to relax. Everything's going to go back to peace mode. Yeah, it's going to be done in the earth, a paradise all over again.
Even better than before.
Yeah. Everything's going to be at rest, everything's going to be rejuvenated. You know, everything's going to be more settled. And righteous vibrations are going to be on the earth, man. No more wicked UN councils and the Council of the Wicked, Foreign Relations, and IMF, all these private bankers. You know, we're gonna have to deal with that structure no more. Esau's gonna lose all that power, man. There's gonna be no more power in his hand. Power's gonna be in our hands, man. That transition of power is gonna go from Esau Edom to the children of Israel, starting with the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of the hopeful elect under Yahweh Shai, man. And they're gonna show you how it's done, how to rule in righteousness, how to rule the right way, basically, which is in righteousness.
The scripture says the triumphing of the wicked is short,
Joy of the hypocrite.
but for a moment.
Yeah.
So Esau's only got so long left before he gets taken down, man.
That's why they got to fast track this new world order. They got to make shit move. Like they had 2020, 30 and all that. I even heard there's some new agenda they got called Project Esther and all that. It's funny, they're saying the Project Esther is basically Esau in America wants to reintroduce the scriptures as the law of the land. But at the same time, they're gonna have the Moism going on. And this is bad, but they're gonna have basically they're gonna be more strict on certain laws, and people are basically they're gonna be more martial law type tactics and martial law type judgments and execution, summary execution. They're gonna put people in concentration camp. When you go into it, Project Esther, it goes into it. One Edomite was going into it the other day. One Edomite was explaining it the other day, man. She said, Project Esther, you thought Project, what was it called? Warp Speed and all that was bad. He said, well, check out Project Esther, and that would just make your jaw drop. Because Esau's basically going to be a straight tyrant, martial law type legislation, and just basically all out chaos, like all that dystopian cities, basically, police states, you know. And then it also goes into, Project Esther basically wants to put C-hips in everyone. They say they're going to be tracking and tracing people. That's what Project Esther is all about. You know, I need to go into it a bit more, but even just the mentioning of it, the topics of discussion, you can see that it's all about this new world order agenda. Because that's the end goal, to put chips in everyone, man. To track and trace all citizens. That's basically what she said. It's all about. So that's what their new world order is all about anyway. They're just calling it different names, and the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, they go by different terms because they want to keep the people bemused, man. It's basically the New World Order, that's what it is.
But the Lord's going to bring his real new world order, and that's going to be the one that's going to last eternally.
Yep.
Israel on top.
Real new world order, man.
That's right.
And the earth is going to be governed by the scriptures. But all the laws, man, all 613. Not this penal codes and bylaws that these devils permit out here, which they can change every other year.
Yeah.
We're gonna rule the earth by the legislations that the Lord set out from the 5 books of Moses, man, the Torah. That's how this earth is going to be run. Land, Sabbath, and all. Go ahead, sir.
It's 2 Thessalonians 2 and 6. And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
Yes, so Esau's been ruling, man. 2,000 years ago, he was in the rulership seat. And now he's ruling again. It's the revamp of the Roman Empire. You know, the deadly wound up was healed. And it's the revamping of these devils, pushing that Roman type philosophy and doctrine on the world, man. And that in turn includes the New World Order of basically being able to track and trace all citizens, man. Censorship. You know, which you're not supposed to number the people anyway, but that's what Esau likes to do. Because he wants to collect his taxes, man. You know? But it's only going to be short-lived. As soon as they're about to fill their belly, that's what the Lord said he's going to rain terror upon them, man. So it's all short-lived anyway. But it has to be done because it's the word of the Lord. It has to be fulfilled.
Verse 8, it says, And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yeah, and the wicked has been revealed through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Rachach and to his men. How the things that Esau searched up. You know? How have these things been revealed through the men of the Lord, the mouthpiece of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because as we would say before, the whole 7 on the YouTube and all that, brothers didn't know who the Edomites were. Brothers didn't know who, you know, brothers didn't even really know all about all the 12 tribes of Jacob, man. We didn't know about the 12 tribes of Israel in depth. You know, we might have known a few little things, but we didn't know in depth about the 12 tribes and the, you know, the populations and where they're scattered out today. We didn't know about the 10 lost tribes and them going over there to the habitation of America, Asareth and all that. We didn't know all those deep things of the scriptures, man. The mysteries, the secrets. The secrets are only given to the servants, the prophets. We was oblivious to all that, man. We didn't know all these breakdowns. But through Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit, we were set up teachers, true pastors that was going to teach us this word, and they fed us, man. And they're still feeding us to this day with true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, the whole entire book as well. We're eating the whole roll, the good, the bad, and the ugly parts, man. We're eating the whole roll, and now we're out here on the highways and hedges, being a mouthpiece of the Lord, exposing these devils for who they truly are, and the other nations too. And then after our job is done, the Lord's going to come with the chariots and totally dispose of this devil, man. Destroy his kingdom. And after 1,000 years of him serving his punishment, he's going to exterminate them. He's going to dispose of them. And no one's going to miss their asses too.
It says, And then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yeah, the Edomites. The wicked is talking about the seed of Esau, Edom. The so-called white men. They're the seed of the wicked. That's being revealed. It's not talking about the Chinese, man. It's not talking about the Arabs. It's talking about the devils that was ruling back then, the time of Yahweh Shai. The ones that put him on a crucifix and hung him up. Stabbed him in his side. It's talking about them devils. That's the seed of the wicked.
Whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Yeah, because Esau comes in the spirit after the spirit of the working to Satan. Even posted Zahar did a video last night making fun of this guy Trump. He was in some cartoon, like a South Park thing. And like they got the Simpsons as well, they're exposing this guy. Something always going to happen in August. Saying something's going to happen in August. Who knows, something might happen in August, man. This guy might just delete himself or whatever, man. He might just do a false flag. Because he's getting a bit panicky because of this Epstein shit. So things are looking a bit real shifty for Trump right now. Everyone's not on his side. And you know, when he was Nero, he deleted himself back then as well because The people lost faith in him. And that was the thing. Nero took himself out back then, so he knows he might do it all over again, or the Lord might have it done for him. Who knows, man? But his things are not looking too bright for that guy, man, right now. But in that South Park cartoon, basically, it showed you that he was in bed with Satan, literally in bed with him.
Yeah.
You know, about to get pegged by the spiritual demon Satan, man. So and show you that's who he's in line with, man. He's in alignment with those spirits, those forces, the dark side. He gave his soul over to the dark side a long time ago, but he signed his he basically did a renegotiation with that when he came into the presidency to be the top warlock of America, man. Signed his sealed in blood. So he did a renegotiation, with Satan all over again. As he comes in the spirit and the power of Satan, man. That's why they're going to push forth this device with the C-hip technology. Right? Yeah, okay.
It says, working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, part of the lying wonders is that C-hip technology, man. They're going to use that to deceive the people into taking it. Through that technology, they're going to make people think they're going to be able to get more abilities and be super smart, and all these different things, more advanced, merging man with machine and shit like that. But really, it's going to be to their detriment, man. Yeah.
It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish,
That's the 2/3, go ahead.
because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved.
Yes, and the Lord's not going to save 2/3, man, on this go around. No matter what they try and do, they're not going to be able to receive this truth. The Lord's going to make, like a deaf adder that stops with his ear. The Lord's just going to make sure it goes in one ear and comes out the other. They're not going to be able to receive the names of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. They're going to call upon a Jesus, even if it's black Jesus. Well, they're not going to call upon the name of Yahweh Shai, that they might be saved. So they're damned, basically. They're all damned. They're all going to be brought to judgment.
And for this cause, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Yeah, once again, like they took the whole C-vid jab situation, that poison, they was deceived by the devil to taking that. The Lord sent them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. A lot of our people took that stabbing jab, and a lot of them got pulled back to the spiritual world. Who was it that took that shit recently? Oh, this guy, Ozzy Osbourne. They're saying that he took the full booster, and all of a sudden he's gone years later. And a lot of them celebs are dropping out the sky. You've had 3 already this week. You had Theo from the Cosby Show, and they say things happen in threes. Then you had Ozzy Osbourne, and then Hulk Hogan, man. And these are like prominent figures of America, showing you that America's done. Especially Hulk Hogan, man. He was like the pride and joy of America, man. Hulkamania and all that.
Hollywood Hogan.
Hollywood Hogan. He was like the pride and joy of America. I am a real American. Now they're showing reruns of all these fights on YouTube. There's this guy in constant live streaming. All these great fights, the big giant and all that. They're showing all the Ultimate Warrior. Some of them shit's a classics, though. I like the Ultimate Warrior ones and all that, but these times come and gone. And he was like proper that live and die for America, man. And then he found out his daughter was getting plugged by Jake and got emotional. Started dissing Jakes and all that, saying niggers and all that. And he's probably a Jake himself. And then the brother put out a picture of the Republic of him seeing Yahweh Shai in the heavens, isn't it? It's a black Yahweh Shai, dark skin man, and then Hulk Hogan like this. Oh, brother. Yeah. What you gonna do, brother? They'll put the caption like that. Yahweh Shai's coming to destroy these niggas. That's what he's gonna do. Hulk knows now. Hulk's seen the Heavenly Father and he's seen the Son. So he knows that there's so-called dark entities now, man. Seeing the angels, the dark skin. So he can't call them niggas no more. You're gonna find out that really the powers of the earth are dark-skinned people, dark-skinned melanated people, or forces, should I say. That's the original source, man, the dark-skinned source. Dark-skinned force is the original force. I'm trying to rap in that shit. But yeah, man, that's it. Hulkamania's gone. And there's going to be many more celebs. Stars shall fall out of the heavens, man. A lot of these celebs are just dropping, man, like flies, man. That's the power, that's the judgment of the Lord, though. At least they don't have to worry about taking the chip. You got Theo, people crying over Theo and that for the Cosby. Man drowned himself in the waters. And he said there was bare signs before he even went to the waters saying, look, man, there's bare rough waters in there. Bare signs showing him, don't fuck around with these waters. The guy went to the deepest part, tried to swim. Like an idiot.
Oh, that's right, man.
Well, Jake is proud, you know. Jake think they're untouchable until the Lord touch you. Now your ass is in the torture room wondering why. So he got taken. Ozzy Osbourne, that guy, he was a demon. He's got about, you know, but he's old school for the rock and roll. A lot of guys was into that Ozzy Osbourne shit, but he was a Satanist anyway. Him and his whole family a bunch of Satanists. So he got taken out. But it says 3-10, you know, and by strength, 4 score, which is 80. So 3-10, you know, Hulk Hogan was 71, Ozzy Osbourne was like 70 something. So their time was come and gone, man. Especially Hulk, man, after all the surgeries that he had, all the drugs that he used to take back in the steroids, it just came back to haunt him, man. It's basically what that was. All the steroids that he used to take and all that. But his last stage or last attempt at fame or whatever was that fucking rally with Kamala, man. When he came up there looking like an idiot, you know, tearing off his t-shirt and shit for Kamala Harris.
To do it,
yeah, he was done. And then he ripped off his vest as well. And his muscles all flabby and all that. He was done, man. He didn't look the same. He tried to come up there for Kamala. And that was his last, like, you know, bow out, basically, before he took his ass out. He really shouldn't have gone up there for that, but obviously he probably just wanted the money. But yeah, this place is done. That American spirit, American dream, all that shit is done, man. All your greats are done anyway, from the MJs to the Princes, all these guys, man. All the greats of America are artists, musicians, sports. Except for him, Michael Jordan. You know, he's still around. But most of them are all done out here, man. Most of them are all dead now. You know, that's showing you that America is done. The Lord's finished with America. The Lord's about to toast America. He's about to send pure fire and nothing but rage and fucking indignation on that land America. Good fucking riddance, man. We can't wait. We can't wait, man. Angel of death is gonna come through that whole land.
Yep. This is Revelations chapter 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time.
Yes, Esau, man. You know, hurry up. Speed up, man. Do what you gotta do, man, because the quicker you work, the quicker we get the fuck up out of you, man. So, we entreat you, man. Bring out whatever you're gonna do, whatever attacks, false flags, all that KO. Just do it, man. Hurry up, man. Stop pussyfooting. You know, so we get the fuck up out of here, man. Because once you make your move, Yahweh Bashim Shai is gonna make their move. So you need to just, you know, do what you gotta do. So we can get up out of here, man. The sooner the better. You know, next 6 months to a year. You know, that would be great. Then we don't have to live in this place no more. We don't have to deal with all this madness. We don't have to deal with all this madness, man. Filthy, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. We don't have to be here no more. We don't have to work for you devils no more. You know, none of that. No more tax burdens. No more red letters for the letterbox. You know? No more debt. No more slavery, man. That's it, man. That's what we're hoping and praying for. So you need to hurry up and do what you gotta do. We're giving you, you know, green light, man. For your How Bashim Shai. Do it, man. Kill as many people you gotta kill, whatever, man. Just do it. Get on and cracking, man, so we can get the fuck up out of here, man.
That was like Chris Tucker, man. It was a rush hour. Push the button, man.
Yeah, push the button.
Push the guy that blow everybody up. You know, in that.
You heard what she said?
Yeah, push the button, man.
You heard what she said?
But it's in the Lord's time, though. You know, it's
Yeah,
gonna
man,
happen.
there's the Lord's time, yeah.
It's inevitable.
That's what it is, but we're in that time. It's someone get that Ezekiel 7 and 5, we got to end on that. The end, man. We're the end, man. If you don't understand where the end, you're in the spirit and that mindset of You know, like the IUIC, just in an oblivious state, thinking that this place is going to go on. You can land blitz and church blitz until the kingdom come. You got another thing coming, man. The Lord's going to destroy all that shit. That mindset of that worldly mindset. When all hell breaks loose, you ain't going to be able to land blitz nothing. You know, church blitz and all that shit going to go out the window. Because you're going to be restricted. You're going to be under curfews. You're going to be able to just go out in the street and just do your own thing anymore. Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Yep.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
We're at the end, man. It's not tarrying, man. It's definitely not tarrying. We're at the end now. The Lord's about to wrap this shit up. We're about to wrap it up, man. You could say the early 2000s and 90s and all that, things was tarrying. Apostles used to say that, from High Priest Ariana and all that. They used to say that, you know, regarding the end times, you're going to know when you're in the end times. Now we can say for certain that we are in the end times, man. We're creeping, we're at the door. You know, you got your foot in the door type thing. We're at the door, man. The Lord's about to kick that bitch wide open, man. Doors of mercy are going to be closed. The doors of judgment are going to be kicked wide open, man. And whoever gets it, man. That's it. You know?
That's right.
Necessary evils, man. You know, that's what it is. It's a bad time, but it's a necessary evil, man. We need it to get out of here. Got any more on that? You got yours?
Ezekiel 7 and 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Most High, an evil and only evil, behold, is come.
Yeah.
An end is come, behold. Sorry, an end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come.
The end is coming, man. The end is come. It's here. They're watching for thee, man. Meaning it's right around the corner. It's imminent, man. Imminent danger. That's why you got the watchman on the watchtower warning you constantly. Look, the enemy's coming, man. The end is come. It's come. It's watching for thee, man. The enemy is coming, man. We're warning you about Esau, Edom, telling you that they're about to take you Jake's out. Jake don't want to repent. They still want to be out here lollygagging, being the spirit of mirth and folly. Alright, you've been warned, man. You're going to have to deal with the hell when it comes now. You know, you're going to have to deal with the starvation, all of that. While the men of the Lord are going to be secure, the Lord said, my servants shall eat. While you're out there starving, fighting for the last loaf of bread, fighting for the last piece of fruit in the store, because all the food in the store has gone rotten or there's just nothing left. Starvation is going to come back in a major way. You think what the Palestinians are going through? That's exactly what you're going to go through over here in the West. Just being starved out. They're going to have food there waiting for you, but you're not going to be able to get to it. Because they're going to have military and all that covering the shit, you know. Cities are going to be cut off. The same shit that they're doing to them people over there in Gaza. That's what they're going to do to people over in the West, man. They're going to starve your children out, all that. You think Esau cares about children in the West? What are you doing to them people over there in Palestine, man? These starving children out to death, man. They're coming into the hospitals all inebriated and all that. They're all malnourished, on the verge of death. You know, their doctors are complaining because they ain't letting no media over there in Israel because they know what they're doing is committing straight illegal wars and genocide. So they're not letting no media over there. So the doctors are saying that they're coming back with bare big, like 80 children that's basically on the verge of death. They're either coming with bullets in the chest, coming into bullet holes in the chest or in the head.
Yeah, that's it.
Bare head traumas and all that because they're getting shot by the military. The IDF, they're shooting them in the chest and in the head. Who's doing that? That ain't no Hamas.
Yeah, they're gamifying it. They're shooting them on different body parts on different days. Like, basically just taking the piss.
Half of them they're bringing in there and they're saying that they're basically just about to die. They're just trying their best to keep them alive, but most of them end up dying. Yeah. Every day. They're just bringing in bare kids and all that. Bare children just dying. So that's a straight up genocide, right? That's called what you call ethnic cleansing, right? Yeah. But these devils are trying to hide it, trying to say, no, they don't. So why don't you let the media in that place then? Because you know if the media shows what's really going on, that Holocaust shit is going to be like, you know, that's going to be light work compared to what they're going to be showing you devils doing over there. Raping up their prisoners. It was even saying they was having riots because the IDF wanted to have legal right to rape the prisoners. Because it was basically restricted from raping Palestinian men or women and children probably. They didn't say who, but they said they've been restricted to raping prisoners. They said they was having a riot because the IDF want to be sanctioned by the government to do what they want, do as they will, basically to the Palestinians. Meaning they could rape them and have their way with them. That's foul, man. I thought you were supposed to be the righteous, man. Why would you want to rape prisoners, man? Rape men, women, and children, man. Shows you that them Israeli, them gutter rats, man, they're sick people, man. The scripture says they were violent in the earth. Children of fools, man. You're going to kill all them gutter rats over there, man. Them gutter rats are not the righteous people of the Lord, man. They're not about fucking Israeli converts, man. Bunch of rats, man. Bunch of gerbils, man. Hats on. I call them Hashitting Jews, man. They're full of shit. They're demons, man. Building all these damn tunnels everywhere. Man, we hiding in them damn tunnels, man. Kinds of children and shit. You know? Fuck these damn, man, them gutter rats, man. You gotta go, man. You're the real problem of the earth as well. You're all Edomites. Esau, you gotta go in general. But them gutter rats, man, Amalek, man, when we get you in the kingdom, man, we're gonna fuck your asses up. Me personally, man, I'm gonna be on you Amalekites in the kingdom, man. I'm gonna be onto you, man. I'm gonna mess up Esau in general, bro. You Amalekites, man, you gutter rats, man, I'm gonna fuck your asses up, man. Real talk, man. Can't even put into words what man's gonna do to you, though. So I have to meditate terror. I'm gonna fuck you devils up, man, for real. It's alright what Apostle Elder Tahar was saying. It's alright, we're gonna go through this taking you devils out, man. You're gonna have to bring up some jakes from space for real. We're gonna be exhaling. We're gonna take our anger out on you, man. And our anger ain't even enough. The Lord said He's gonna have to put His anger in us. Our anger is not gonna be enough, man. What's the time on there? Everyone got sex.
I was just gonna say like in the kingdom, yeah, for Amalek it's gonna be open season, man. You know, because the animals are gonna get their way with you, man. Animals are gonna be attacking you.
Yep.
You know, Jakes, you know, even our children, you know, because they're gonna be as like God's super babies or whatever with powers, man. You know, hey, you devils are gonna get paid back justly, man. True justice is gonna be had, man. And you devils, you know, after that, you've served your 1,000 years of slavery. Obadiah 1:18 comes in effect, man. We ain't gonna look at you anymore, man. You're gonna be gone.
Yeah, no one's gonna miss you either, man. No one's gonna miss you, man. You're gonna be an afterthought, man. I'm telling you, man. I swear there was a devils, man. Yeah, they got vanquished. Yeah, good. Praise Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's what we're gonna be praising the Lord. Drinking some Yayan, some pure Yayan. Celebrating your downfall, man. That's probably gonna be another high day in the kingdom. The death of Esau Edom. Extermination day. You know? Anyway, with that, we're going to close out. Apparatus, I will see you brothers next week. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash, Shalom, man. Yeah, man. That probably is going to be another high holy day.